This is all made for the sake of comedy and poor sophomoric taste. The skits are parodies, and any similarity to real people or stories is purely coincidental. Any insults hurled at any one human is made in jest. We're just covering our bases for when one of you skins your knee on an internet insult. We love you. Again, this is all a joke, whether you laugh or not. Not just the show, but this waking existence. The great cosmic giggle. Try not to take it seriously.
Let's just rock it.
Let's just do this, bud. One time.
You want to just rock it?
One time, bud.
I said this is the start of the Hoso Show, where we question everything that you know. This is the start of the Hoso Show, so sit back and let it flow, and let it go. Let it flow. Let it go. Let it flow. So come on, we'll just get ready. Be there when times get heavy. World's got you down. Let us be your clown. Come on, we'll just get ready. Come on, we'll just get ready. Be there when thoughts get heavy. Add your life. Let's go for a ride. So come on, we'll just get ready. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody. Steve couldn't make it tonight, so I'm, I got my blood in the co-host seat. Little Ivy Elgin is going to help me sing a little song.
Sing it, Ivan. Play it. Play that one.
Play
song
me a
you
little
wrote.
jam, that
Play
one song you wrote.
Play it. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, get out of here. This is my show. What are you doing here?
Get off your dad's Kool-Aid, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. Oh my God! What's up, everybody? Nothing's different. Nothing's different. Did you hear me? He goes bull C.
Bull C, put him on the list.
That's what he said. I think we can say that.
First one on the list, bud. You beat me.
Oh yeah, Mike. Let's say hi to Mike real quick.
Oh, Ivy
We're
boy
gonna-
beat me to it.
Let's say hi.
Hey,
Mike.
everyone. How y'all doing tonight? Get ready for the Hoso
Can
Show.
you not share? Hey, everybody! Thanks for tuning into the show tonight. Thanks for tuning into the show tonight. I'm sharing it. Hey guys, we're live in the basement studio. This is where we're at right now. And we're about to serenade you like crazy. Y'all ready for this, boys and girls? Boys and girls, are you ready for this? Grab your diamonds and pearls. I said ready. Are you ready? Said I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm here. Are you ready? Do you ready? Do you ready?
Let's take him on a little journey, Steve-O.
You have the finest print, man. You have the eagle vision, man.
Just for you, pal.
All right, let's do it.
When you left this town with your windows down and your wilderness inside, let the exits pass all their touring glare till the road and sky align. The strangers in this town raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, and Angela, it's a long time coming.
lit up green and white in those cities on the side. But you held your course to some distant war in the corners of your mind. From the second time around, the only love I ever found. Oh, and Angela, it's a long time coming. Ooh, rap, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. Home and land. Were you safe and warm in your coat of arms, with your fingers in a fist? Did you hear them notes, all the static codes in the radio's abyss? And strangers in this town raise you up just to cut you down. Oh, and Angela, it's a long time coming. Oh, and Angela, spent your whole life running away. Well, home and land. Home and land. Well, vacancy, hotel room, lost in me, lost in you. Angela, on my knees, I belong, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Home and land. Home and land. Take 'em on a ride. Home and land. Home and land.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, sentient artificial intelligence, flora, fauna, fungi, alike to the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Monday night, was it 2.0.4, the fifth show back. Man, I tell you what, I got the lettuce flowing. It's all in my
No, I don't even need it tonight. I need it tonight. Thank you. I do need it.
Hi, guys.
I do need it.
It's good to see you. Thanks for being here, spending a Monday with us. We're going to talk about some fun stuff tonight because, Steve, there is biblical times.
I thought that was Jen's phone. It's my own. I'm sabotaging myself at this point. Yeah, biblical times. Armageddon, shall we?
Armageddon.
Shall we? Well, everyone knows I have re-found the ways of Christ and the Lord. It's going well. He's testing me.
He's testing you.
Is he ever? But that's kind of part of the gig, and that's what I signed up for. I got baptized, Holmes, and confirmed.
What's your confirmation name? We go over this before?
Stephen George Michael
I knew that. St. Michael.
Elgin.
The Archangel.
One of the best jokes ever been told in church, except the bishop did not like me after that.
Because it was George Michael?
Yeah, I don't.
Did he know
You know,
your
now
name was
looking
George?
back on it. Well, he said, Stephen, he kind of accidentally emphasized it when, they read your names at the church, at the ceremony, when you're choosing at your own age to be, walk the path with Christ.
Correct, yeah. You're taking responsibility for your
You're
faith
an
going
adult now. You're
forward.
in eighth
It's
grade.
no longer
You're
your
an
parents'
adult.
job to get you
Make
to
a
church.
decision on religion. You're
That's
in
right.
8th grade. Make a decision on what God you want to follow. You've seen enough of the world. You're in 8th grade, for Christ's sakes. I can say that when I'm talking about Christ. That's why I use that there.
Okay.
God, you look good. But he goes, Stephen, George, Michael, Elgin, and if it didn't get a few little church Snickers,
I love church Snickers.
oh, church yams are better, but church Snickers are good too. You ever do a pocket full of yams at church? Oh, it'll change your life, buddy.
Keep yams in your
Pocket
pocket.
yams?
Pocket-
And please back me up on the text line, everybody. Pocket yams at church are the pocket jam of church.
Okay. I'm forced to take your word for it. I've never kept my yams in my pocket. Should we say hi to some people in the text
Yes,
line?
we should. Yes,
Okay,
we
let's
should.
see here. We got Peter Gent, Hard G, saying Arkansas. Did you partake with Sasquatch? That must be talking about the segment. You and Mike got a little story to tell us later.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
boy, am I.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what, bud. I'm so excited that you couldn't believe it.
Oh, are you using our deal? Are you using
I'm not using our deal. I'm not
using
using
our
our
deal?
deal.
Use our
I'm
deal,
not
dude.
using our deal.
Use our
Look, first
deal.
of all,
Send up the chat.
First of all, I was thinking about. I think
chat
over
is
the
cool.
past couple of weeks, we've said a few things that have made some people disappointed in us. I guess. Yeah, every now and then. And so every now and then we have to come clean. We have to apologize. And so I want us to give a heartfelt apology. So.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely
Or is it
nobody.
playing sad
I
music now?
hope
'Cause I have
that
no
it's
idea.
not. It's not. But I would like everybody. That was it was our boy Connor apologizing for us.
Oh, okay. See, don't be hogging that thing.
I'm hogging it,
Don't
bro.
bogart that
I'm
thing.
hog. I'm Bogart. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just so
trying to have
excited.
Fun on Mondays
I'm
too.
just so excited. But
Why you
okay, you're
trying
right.
to
We're
not
here to
let
have
me
fun on Mondays. We're
dude?
here to have fun. I'm sorry. That was.
God, why do
You know
we-
what that was on my behalf? I'm sorry.
Mondays are for the Hoosiers.
Is there any way we can pipe the sound through there?
Can through desktop audio as long as Mike keeps
Mike
his
sees
mic
Mike
off.
low. Yeah, I'd like to hear
Yeah.
a little skosh of it. Mike's over there running the ones and twos. Now let's hit some because we got something here, and it's
Give me desktop
where's
audio there,
ours?
Mike? You can turn it down.
Turn it up maybe a skosh.
Just a
Is your
skosh.
mic on?
You guys let
Am
us
I-
know
okay.
if that's
Let
if
us
you're
know
getting any
if-
feedback, any
Yes.
kind of weirdness, because we're playing around tonight. We're having fun. There's a battle for good and evil going on, bud.
Oh boy, is there ever! And I try to keep high spirits. Obviously, did you see the way I opened the show? How much fun I was having?
I got to be honest. We started out on a real high note, super happy people, and then you kicked the fun kid out, and
Oh
then
yeah,
you
he
came
was
in.
not bad. He was at be bull crap as he was leaving. He's like,
I'll tell you
he
what,
thought his
dude.
skit was gonna be a little longer. Listen, I am the man who runs the show here.
I better
If the
say.
kid wants to start his own show, he can. He's lucky for tidbits. Okay, that's the
couldn't
way
agree more.
treat your loved ones. They should be happy for tidbits. Put it on a shirt.
Happy for tidbits.
You're loving that.
Well,
thing,
what it
dude.
is, I'm kind of sitting on it. So I'm like, it's kind of like yanking my head.
Do you want to take it off? Because it seems like it maybe is bothering you.
It's not bothering me.
It seems
I'm
seems
just
like
adjusting.
possibly-
I'm just adjusting.
I'm just a jester in the middle of the sands. I'm just a jester in the middle of the badlands. You know that? I'm just a jester in the middle of the sun. I'm just a jester to everyone. Laugh at me till the shadow people creep inside your brain. Can't make jokes like that anymore.
We can't.
Because we got a special debut coming up next week if I can get my editing prowess.
If we can focus on the things that we love instead of the things that we're just forced to do because we're slaves in the system, Steve.
Oh man, and it's evil. Is the system evil? That's what I asked.
System just is.
Craig, before I believed in everyone was good.
Is this
born
Wayne's
good.
World they're watching?
This is great. You look great, dude. And like, I don't, yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. I just got a glimpse of what we look like, and it's good.
We
stuff.
look good. Will you throw us up on the big
Mikey,
screen?
put us up- drag that whole thing up.
Drag your whole thing right on up. Drag it.
white-
Drag
grab
your
the-
thing.
grab the white
Grab
bar.
the white bar. Nope, that's not. That's doing something weird. That thing right there. Drag
we
it
go.
out.
Now
There he
give us a
is.
max. Now max that bad dude out.
Max it.
Yes, sir.
Max it. Now I can stare at. Oh wait, this is a tradition. Craig, do you think people are born good or bad, or do you think that's a thing?
Do I think that? Oh, that's a good question. I think.
It's kind of nature versus nurture, but it's different because, like, is a baby born to be a serial killer?
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, I don't. I think that that's probably more a product of nurture. Yeah, those aren't Lululemons, are they? But I will tell you, the color works with your wig and everything.
I had a grout fit on.
I don't know what a grout fit is.
Gray
Oh, a gray outfit. I thought it was something you just got grout on.
About this.
A couple of weeks ago, last week we told you about meeting our comedy hero and buying some sweet merch afterwards from a new comedy favorite of ours, Johnny Pemberton, who we've always appreciated, just maybe didn't get the full Johnny Pemberton experience. And he had some of the greatest merch, and Steve is rocking some of Johnny's merch tonight. There it is. Goldman Sachs. I think it's the greatest idea. And it plays in. We're talking about slaves to a system. We're talking about good versus evil.
Do you have a hair tie?
I don't have one on me.
Okay.
I don't have one on me.
Cool. That's cool.
I apologize.
IT band. I mean IT band. Kids, are they evil little shits or what?
Oh man, you didn't even... Come on, bud.
Yes. Sorry,
Come on, pal.
Let's do it. Replay.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. We gotta. Let me just see if I can't.
Oh,
rewind. Go ahead.
So those kids, are they evil little? Or what?
Yeah, they probably are. Anywho,
Not bad. What do you guys think?
it's not bad. We're having fun. We're just having fun, guys. We're tuning in.
That's if we say it enough, we are. Okay. If I say it enough, I'm having a good time. Why don't you people trust me? I don't get it.
We've got a fun little segment we want to try. Something that you and I have been talking about for a while.
feed the
Don't
riff.
really know how it was, how it would go. We tried a little test run with Mike earlier. I think it could be fun. So if anybody's interested in having their tarot read tonight, we are going to combine forces.
Tag a friend who would like to have
Tag
their
a friend
tarot
who would
read.
like their tarot read this
Tag
evening.
a friend and bring them into the chat.
And bring them into the chat and say and put tarot after it. We're gonna do we'll do a 4-card reading for everybody. 5-card reading. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll do it.
And
Okay.
then you got a story. You and Mike got a story for us.
Yes.
You got some Arkansas madness that happened. Did this happen? How long ago? This happened quite a while ago.
2 years ago when we kind of had the water table deal. I was out on the rivers because they were up. Because we had a frosty. Wait, no,
Yeah, that's
no,
exactly
spring
right.
rain.
We
Sorry.
we had a frosty winter. Is exactly what happened.
You did that to me. You put that in my brain. You made me say that.
I asked somebody, what would you guys like to hear us talk about tonight? The first thing that was sent to me was just a completely dried up creek bed.
What is sex? Is what they said, and we're like, we can
We can do the birds and bees talk if they want. If we want to do it, we can do it. Try and do it clean.
What does
May
that mean?
29th, 2021.
Oh, May 29th. Jeez,
That was not long after.
A time to remember.
That was not long after you grabbed your stick and like a hobo just went walking the road.
walking.
Ended up on the St. Louis riverfront.
That's why I knew in this river situation, we were in essence dead out there. We were gonna die out there. Yeah,
But
we'll
that's for
tell
later.
you that later.
But
We'll
that's
go
for
into
later.
that later.
Steve, you were asking me. You were asking me about the good and evil. What was the big question that you were having me ponder?
Well, are kids born inherently evil? Like it was
I don't
Jeffrey
think
Dahmer born with the? Was he born with the programming?
Oh,
To allow that to happen?
I
Because
think we all
bad
are.
things happen to a lot of people, and they don't all turn into serial killers. But usually, bad things happen to a serial killer, and that, rare. Have there been very many cases of someone who's like normal, totally normal life? Menendez brothers, were they totally? Was that?
Well,
the
I mean,
whole thing with
they
them?
blamed their killing their
What was
parents
their
on how
whole
bad
deal?
their parents were. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
what was that about? Were they just mad at him?
They were
or
just
something?
mad at him, didn't sign him up for soccer camp or something.
Oh, tying into tarot cards, they're in the Jason Starks card. Jason Starks, the guy for the Knicks, the guard.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
pretty good. Jason Starks, am I
No,
saying that
Jason
right?
Stark was the old MLB writer for ESPN.
Yeah. Something
But it
Starks.
was Starks.
Starks. Help us out, Chad.
Point
We're
guard.
reaching it, yeah. No, was it Starks?
It might have been Jason Starks, too.
I don't know. But anywho, they're in the background of the picture. They're in the background of the card. Bless you, Mike.
Bless you, Michael.
Bless you. God bless you, actually. I'll start saying that again. That's nice.
No, I don't think that people are inherently born evil. Do they have this? I think everybody has the switch, has the capability,
To go loco ese?
for sure.
Yeah.
I think good people do outrageous things in times of a lack of sobriety, I suppose. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I think that people are inherently good. But I also, I think like things like the Stanford experiment show you like how impressionable people can be. And also I think a lot of it is growing up feeling a lack of control. And so I think that's exercised in a lot of different ways. Like looking at the Stanford experiment, put people in a position of control, and all of a sudden they're going to start abusing it. And the less control you have over yourself, over your life, the more I think you're likely to try and enforce that on other people, try and control other people as like something that's missing inside of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like if most of your needs are met as just a baby human, just born, like your needs are met, and quite possibly your parents, the needs of your mother especially being met during when you're inside of your mom growing, Mike, that's how babies work. I know you're kind of looking at me confused right now, but they grow in the stomach of the mom for like 9 months. Or
Maybe not
10
in the
months.
stomach, but
Yeah, and like up here in this area, in the tummy, and they come out of there. They come out of there.
they come out of their what? You guys will have to subscribe to the
Dirty Channel.
to the Dirty Channel in order to get what he said they come out of. Let's see, we've got a lot of people interested in having tarot read for them. Well, that's coming up later. We are reading tarot.
Oh, let's read some comments. before
Rachel
we
says,
get
"Ooh,
into
I
it."
have that shirt too, Craig Kohler. Well, only a select bunch does. Colin knows all about grouting."
Colin does.
We have a Colin, the construction fan. Hello, Jennifer Barra. Party on with your tidbits. That must be the Wayne's World reference. What's up, Stuart Wells? Happy for tidbits. Sounds good, homies. I feel you on the sound issues. Good to hear. Glad to hear it.
on the sound issues.
Come
Are we
on,
having
Napoleon.
sound
Let me have some of your pocket yams.
issues? Ooh, a pocket yams.
I'm so ready for tonight's show. Well, good, because we're here and it's time.
We're ready for the show to start too.
Okay, starting now. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome, guys, to the Hoosier Sophisticate. Thank you for getting to the comments, because you people that watch us and love us and worship us and kind of just want to be
Us.
in.
Oh, in us for sure.
No, inside our heads is what I was going to say.
Potato,
They wanna
potato.
know- They want to know what's
Potato,
going
potato.
on
I
in
wasn't
here. Because
I
you want to
wasn't
be
specifying.
soft in here, and you want to be soft up in here.
That's right.
That's kind of the deal. You want, thank you, Mike. Everyone, take a little sip at home of a little cup of Joe. What's up there, fella? You want to come sit down? You can sit down for this, because we were just getting ready
We're
to talk
talking about
evil children.
Good and evil.
Yep, evil children. There's one right there, right? He's embarrassed. I'm embarrassing him. I apologize.
Embarrass him, bud.
Okay. No one's gonna. You're just eye candy. No, that sounded terrible. You're not eye candy. If anyone thinks my son is eye candy on this show, we're gonna have problems. Okay. If anyone thinks I then they're it. Thank you. This is a clean show. So
Whatever you call that.
it's the best beep. Blinks. Yep. Thank you. I think with children, if it's nature versus nurture, if you will, and then you start to think about destiny. Because I've really been rehashing everything they taught us with Catholicism. And I don't know how many people here were in St. Louis, where we grew up at the Catholic grade schools, and they fed us all the Catholic stuff. It was like 2 hours of class time every day was trying to figure this stuff out. So I feel like in high school, when I kind of got rid of that, I threw out everything with that. I threw out all of the teachings. I still was like, Jesus was a good dude. But there was always a sense of the Armageddon, the good versus evil, the battle between Lucifer, and Lucifer is bad and represents everything that's bad. Mm-hmm. And Jesus and God are good, and the Holy Spirit are good. So they are everything that's good. And then in high school, I kind of realized that it's nuanced. It's obviously a nuanced thing. Movies, bad guy, good guy. Well, no. Then some like really good movies, you're like, well, that bad guy lives by a code. Not There Will Be Blood, the other one. That's kind of like that. Thank you. You're like, oh, I almost respect this bad guy because he just lives by a code. And then what is bad and good? Do you make one bad decision? Are you bad? Do you have no penance? Like, one thing I always loved about Jesus is that he could be like, turn the cheek, turn the other cheek. Forgive somebody 777 times 7 or whatever. I do love that. We may need to, Mike, if you could look that up, see what Jesus said about forgiving people 7 times 777.
You know what the Bible says about not forgiving people?
What?
It's against it. It's the old Kingpin joke.
That's good. Yeah, I knew I'd heard that before, but I thought it was in that other movie. What was that other movie called that joke might have been in? What was that joke that other movie? I thought it was from that one movie.
Little
Giants. It's the Little Giants.
It's a story of redemption. It's a story of humility.
Christ. It's the Christ story rewritten in football form. Okay, it's basically the 4 Gospels in football form. But it always, now that I'm readdressing it as a 40-year-old man and thinking about all those teachings, and when I threw everything out, I thought all of it was stories just for stories. What if they weren't stories just for stories? Because obviously you can't believe something you hear from someone's mouth that wasn't even actually at the event. Even someone at the event, I remember on that show Brain Games, they had a fake robbery, and then I witnessed everyone at the event and had them talk to police. 2 out of like 40 got the details right. They brought people to a lineup and said, pick me out the guy who is guilty, who robbed this lady. Almost everybody went with this one guy. They went with him because he was at the event. It wasn't him, but the event was so chaotic because like someone came up and they were yelling and screaming, and a guy stole the purse and one guy helped him, and then they asked everybody what happened afterwards. There was also another one with soldiers came in somewhere, and then they questioned everybody like, how many soldiers were there? 2, 4, like people were given and the crazy thing is they all passed like lie detector tests, and
because they all believed it.
They were all dead wrong, and I'm like, oh.
And then they talk about that a little bit in the guy that's on Rogan like once a quarter, like Last Prisoner Project or something that.
Yeah.
He talks about how unreliable eyewitness testimony is. Bite marks are almost never, dental impressions are almost never.
I remember that.
Accurate. Maybe fingerprint. Like there's a whole bunch of them. All these things that like they portray in movies and shows as like damning evidence rarely holds up as solid evidence, or a lot of people have been put in jail that have later been exonerated after spending 20 years.
Craig, that's what I'm talking about. Everything's a show. Everything's a show. If we, on the last show or the show before, we mentioned that everything in our parents' generation may have been a lie building up. And I do have some interesting, I saw a TikTok video that was drawing comparisons to Lucifer and the Statue of Liberty, saying that there is a painting called, let's see if I can find it here. I had it pulled up. Satan Summoning His Legions. And let me kind of show this up there if I can. It's yellow, so you're not gonna be able to see it. But that's basically, you kind of get the gist. The face looks very.
The face is pretty good, but I
Lady
can't stop
Liberty.
looking at.
Yeah, no, it's drapery. He was Greek.
Oh.
Lucifer was obviously Greek. He was
okay.
obviously a Greek.
It looked like he had a nice little unit on him. It was just kind of at 1 o'clock.
But there's a painting called Satan Summoning His Legions, 1796, 1797, Sir Thomas Lawrence. And it got like, it was bad acclaim because they said the diameter or the measurements were wrong and the legs were too big and the arms and look weird. Whatever. That's what. But I'm like,
Who are
okay,
they to
that's
say
weird.
what Lucifer's built
Thank
like?
you. It's like the Siskel and Ebert of 1796. We're giving this
yeah,
guy
I'm
guff.
gonna write this guy an
You're
email.
giving the guy guff. But okay, so that kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty, which made me think, oh my gosh. I know America is awesome. I really think it's probably still the best place for someone to.
Can I put you on a break? America's awesome. Hang on real quick.
Yeah.
Allison Christine says, watch The Innocence Files on Netflix. The Innocence Project got a lot of convictions overturned because of bite mark evidence and eyewitness testimony.
Oh, is that the show that Ryan Ferguson?
I'm not sure.
That may have been the Innocence Project. He had something like that. Whereas Ryan Ferguson, oh dude, that stuff. That whole Ryan Ferguson thing was just obscene. The kid from
You made me
Columbia,
hip
Missouri.
to it, yeah. Because that was around the time you were there, right? Maybe a
Yes,
little
when
after?
when it happened, I think it was the year before I got there, the year after I so gracefully left that
Yeah,
establishment.
after you graduated with your doctorates.
That's why I'm doing a podcast.
I cut you off. You were talking about America being awesome.
America is still probably the best place for someone to make it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But
The land of opportunity.
is that the Sodom and Gomorrah that we were all talking about? Like this is a thought experiment.
Ooh, I like your
You know-
thought experiment because I ran down on this tangent on a different level. Go ahead.
Okay, so like how they would have described places like that. Some people would have said, "Oh, hey, that's where people go to do dirty things to each other's little." We got the blue there. Thank you to each other's and there and all one in the. Thank you. So I asked you to move it over here, and basically you're just okay. Don't do that. Don't give me that Craig Kohler smug look again, especially with that hair. That looks too good.
Hang on, I think it's got bangs. Hang on a minute. Let's...
Oh no, it does. It's got a mohawk or something to it, dude. Oh, that's you can't get it on the camera as good as you can here, but that is nice.
Tell me rock and roll's dead music.
Okay.
You trying to say rock and roll's dead music,
It ain't
dude?
dead
It
music,
ain't dead music,
people.
dude.
Come
Rock and
on.
roll is for real and it's forever. Okay?
You ever listen to Rush driving your car 112 miles an hour on Highway 141 in the dark? I have.
Actually, several times.
Yeah, you can light them up on 141. But okay, would they describe those places where like, yeah, you can kind of make anything happen and you can make money, but the way you make it is you kind of gotta like cheat, claw, and steal your way to the top. Because I do think there's a lot of people living really well in America who aren't cheating and stealing and getting their way to the top. They make a couple 100,000 to a couple million, and they're just like right above, middle class. Would you say? This is how I'm describing it. Like if I'm calling myself somewhere near lower middle class, then which is changing with the way things are changing right now. That's rapidly changing itself. But I do think people make a pretty good living here, pretty good life, pretty good schools for their kids. It's not bad. So that's good about this country. But the way they would describe it with like, hey, it's kind of, you show some skin, you can make millions of dollars. We have teachers leaving their teaching craft to go show their feet and jugs on a website, Craig. They show their feet and jugs on a website, sir. Jeez Louise. So are we decaying like those Bible people were saying? You know when they would scare us with like, oh, the Bible, prohibition, these are the crazy people saying don't dance and don't feel and don't... were they necessarily not going, maybe we've swung too far, you know?
No, I think you kind of touched on it because I was thinking about that too. Is like we are seeing a mass exodus. We've been seeing for a while a mass exodus from organized religion. However, there is just in my own periphery, it seems to be a lot of people tapping into their, and I'm not saying this in a negative connotation, but tapping into a more pagan belief system. Nature's their god. I can appreciate it. But definitely more of a.
But the good guys,
the heathens are growing in numbers.
The good guys were the ones telling you that those were heathens, though. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like the pagans were the ones who weren't following the Roman rule.
Like the pagans existed for thousands of years before, right?
Yeah, when they were just howling at the moon.
Hang on, let's just go on. Keep going.
Let him cook.
Howling?
Let him cook now.
We all know.
Let him cook.
Changing my voice.
I'm letting you cook.
I said let
Let me cook. The pagans.
Let the man cook.
I was pretty much done.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was pretty.
No, I have
got
thought
my
about
point
that. There is a personal consenting adult decisions aside. There is a major shift that has taken place with the advent of social media, with this global connection. And I wonder if it's not just because there are so many more cameras and there's so much more recorded content and recorded thought that we're seeing the prevalence of the over-sexualization of everything, to the point that the world's elite are now embroiled in several different major sexual abuse scandals. We talked about the church for a long time, right? Well, then we've got Weinstein, we've got Epstein Island, we've got P. Diddy.
Dude, have you looked anything
I've
more
not
into
even
that?
looked into P. Diddy at all.
Oh,
I don't
my
know how
God. The P. Diddy stuff is crazy. If you haven't seen the P. Diddy stuff, the guy is wilding out. Not like Nick Cannon, in a whole different level of wilding out, dude.
Okay.
It is great.
I think that
of
the kind
information
of
they
sex
have
that
on
Nick
them.
Cannon's having produces children, and I'm not so sure that that's what's happening on Bad Boy Island.
No, it is, and
Is that what it's called? Is it called Bad Boy Island?
No, but that's got a nice ring to it.
It's got a good ring to it.
Nice
Bad,
ring.
I'm going Bad Boy.
Yeah, I
Island.
wouldn't mind going to Bad Boy Island. Like, Steve, you're so bad. You got to go to Bad Boy Island. I would be like, yeah, I do. I am kind of bad, dude.
So can you give me like a couple of cliff notes on what's happening with the P. Diddy situation? Because I am flying blind on that deal. I heard that there's another thing, and I'm like, oh, well, we just made a joke out of Epstein, so we don't really care. We're not protecting our
what
children.
Is that?
We're not.
What is that?
I don't get it. We can't. Everything is so over politicized that I posted something today. I think it kind of tracks with this conversation, but basically it was like all of these fiction movies, all of these sci-fi, a lot of people reacted to it, few comments on it. Dune, Star Wars, all of these movies, you side with the resistance. And for whatever reason, in real life, we just refuse to believe it.
We don't see it? I don't guess.
Well, I think at this point, they have done such...
The resistance is hard.
They've done such a phenomenal
They're
job
pooping in buckets.
of splitting us down the middle, where... What is the resistance? We can't even agree that kids being hurt by the world's elite, why is there not a pay-per-view with these people with guillotines at the top of a hill? I'm saying it. These are I don't care if you're a part of the royal family or a senator or whatever.
Yeah, what is
we
that?
have rules, we have laws that are just, some of them you're like, okay, he cheated on stocks. It's like, well, screw him too, by the way,
Sure.
but also...
Are you cheating on stocks is what you're saying?
Not the same thing. That's all I'm saying. Kid diddling.
Listen, a guy selling, trading stocks, whatever, let him go.
Let him cook. Let him cook. But we can't even agree on that. You would think. I always, it seems like in a lot of these movies where the resistance is going to win, there's this moment where these hackers hack into the feed that the whole world's getting, What's
Robot?
I actually still haven't done that.
That's
I
cool.
know.
That's cool. That's cool. You still have it on your
Everybody's
list.
telling me that I'm just like missing out big time, and I'm sure I am. V for Vendetta, that kind of similar situation where they tap into the cameras. Hey, this is what's really going on behind the scenes, and I feel like right now, with Snowden, with a bunch of different whistleblowers,
It's happening.
we have been showed this thing, and
Well, that's what. Okay, to build off that, if you're, can I cut you
yes,
off right
please,
here?
yeah.
In that movie, if you'll remember, because I watched that movie, if it's on, I don't have cable now, so it's not one of those situations. But if I see it, I'm like, I'll throw it on to go to bed.
V for Vendetta?
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. But what was the thing that happened that finally was the straw that broke the back of the people? It wasn't V for Vendetta doing all that stuff. If you remember, that little girl was out in the street with her mask on, and the cops shot her, and the people saw it,
Yeah.
and it steamrolled into the revolution.
But would that
I
work?
wonder what the
that
catalyst.
work?
What's the catalyst, Craig?
So we saw. Let's get real controversial for here. We've seen someone's neck knelt on. Not everybody could agree on what should happen there.
Which was that something that was set up to
Dude,
to
I
divide
hope,
us?
I hope not, but I guess that's my point. Is no matter how horrific the situation, there's
gotcha.
always a politicized line where half of us are like, well, maybe that kid shouldn't have been wearing a hoodie.
I know. I was a
It's
part
like,
of
what is
Yeah,
going
that's
on?
insane. That's
What's going on?
Yeah.
And that's not to, I mean, there's a lot of this stuff is super sensitive, but it's like we can't even agree. For instance, it's really strange. It happened with COVID, with the forced vaccinations and everything like that. That got really wild because I felt and Trump was a part of it. Like the last 10 years of politics has been even more absurd than any. I know that politics
It's
has always been
insane.
crazy, but the way that information is coming from everywhere and the way that these digital tribes are put together, we
It's
can't.
new.
It's new, but we can't seem to have just at least 5 things where we all agree this would be better for all of us. Like
what?
the whole idea is like
Which
sitting
makes me
down with
think
somebody.
forces are working against us.
I don't want to sit in a room with everybody that I agree with, right? I want to hear somebody else's experience, how it's affecting them, how they think they can change it, and entertain that to whatever level that I can. And hopefully, even though we have our differences, it's the things that we have in common that we can bond
Vibe
over.
on, yeah.
And so when
vibe on.
well, dude, it's the wig, bro. It's the wig. You're vibing, bro.
It's seeping
You're
into my brain.
vibing, bro.
Dude.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
You know what, dude? Honestly, with that wig, you're
Rewind
kinda,
it.
Let's just.
I'll say something
I'm
different.
sorry.
Vibing, bro. Dang it, I did it again. I'm so dumb. I'm
All right, let's
sorry,
try one
vibe.
more time. Let's rizz them up.
Hey, what are you doing? People at home.
People at home. There's this thing where like I saw it during COVID that was really wild.
You are
Where-
hitting all the buzzwords. If
I know.
If they're tracking
Trump,
us,
COVID, all of this. I'm on
Epstein.
it. I'm on it.
You said
Epstein, Diddy.
Yeah, you said
We're
them
doing
all.
it. Wait until we do give you. We were
Vaccination.
riffing the other night. I wish we would have changed the background because you had me near in tears, bud.
That was fun. We were just
And
having
so
fun.
whenever we take a little break, we're just going to give you guys some outtakes of
Behind
of
the scenes.
some behind the scenes of a riff fest.
what we do.
Just looking for laughs, trying to make each other laugh. There were people, even with like with the Trump election and everything, like for the first time it looked like I feel like for the most part you could count on a union vote, kind of like a blue collar vote moving towards the left, right? And Trump kind of broke that thing a little bit. And it was really weird where people that I didn't think would support him did, and people that I kind of thought would didn't. And I was like, okay, that's really strange because you two are usually on opposite sides of that argument. And then COVID did this thing where it was like all of a sudden it was super politicized, and people that were like kind of on the right wing were like, there's no way I trust the government to do this. But then also there were these there was like these hippies, right? Like a lot of like naturopaths, things like that would normally not find themselves in agreement with the more conservative side of things, where all of a sudden they had this,
Little bond.
this little bond,
Little
this
vibe.
little thing but then on the flip side, it was so militant. And like, And
Trump,
the discourse.
if he's anything, he doesn't bring people together.
No. I mean, he brought plenty of people together. But he's
not
like,
everyone.
He's a little mercurial, I guess, would be a good way. Yeah, I know.
job,
Let the
man. That was good. Cheer.
Cheer. Oh, here. Oh, hey, I got it.
I'm
bud.
sorry,
Just
I'm-
relax. So I guess my point is like, I didn't think that there would be a time when, like they could force people. So like, okay, here's another perfect example. Like, I don't think about how many people who are staunchly pro-abortion. I need to throw another buzzword out there.
Jesus Lord.
because of bodily autonomy.
What's
Does
up?
not. It does
No,
not.
just
You
walk
can come
right
on
there.
through. You're all right.
Come on through here, Mike.
Come on through, bud. Come on through, Mike.
Come on through, Mike. We love you, Mike.
The bodily autonomy argument,
Sure.
which is one that, with libertarian ideals, everyone should be in charge of what happens to their body, with their bodies, what they put in their bodies. And that, to me, extends to forced vaccinations, right? So now all of a sudden that was like also unlikely bedfellows, where it was like these people that were like, no, a person's body is their own sovereign property to do with what they will. And that kind of brought people together. But even still, these like super polar opposite people on so many different things that are together on this, there's still like a 50-50 balance of people that were, so I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to find here is like, after like a lot of information has since come out about the vaccines.
Yes.
A lot of information that
we
shows
should be
they were
up in arms about.
I would think so. This is my point. Is like, I understand us not knowing anything. Come on through, Mike. Wave to him, baby. I understand. Just lost it a little bit there.
How the forced vaccinations.
Yeah, like I understand how in the beginning people didn't know what side they were on.
Yes.
They were like, I'm scared. They say this is the worst thing ever. I'm going to be safe and get this thing done.
But now that
I have no reason not to do this, not to trust them.
They want what's best for me, right?
I'm grateful for allopathic medicine and all of its advances.
People want what's
and
best for each other.
Vaccines are the reason we don't have polio and all. So like, there's all of these, these totally valid arguments.
Never been a guy.
And then I also get why someone's like, nope,
Yep.
absolutely not. Now, after we fast forward and we do that experiment, and then there's a lot of things that come out that were like, well, it's not going to keep you from getting it. It's not going to keep you from spreading it. It might make it may make it last less time, but also, like,
also you can't sue us if it does
the
mess
reason
you up.
you were telling everybody they had to get it was because those first two things that didn't turn out to be
Yeah.
true. That was the whole reason.
That was
for
why
it.
we
It was
were
to
getting
stop
it.
the spread. That's why we're doing it. And so, like, to find all of these reasons afterwards, well, it did keep them from make this, the symptoms not as bad. It's like, okay, but now all of a sudden, there's half of these people that are validated and not taking it. And even still, like, I think there's this thing that happens where if you attached yourself to one side, because nobody wants to feel taken advantage of. Nobody wants to admit that they were lied to. I mean, consensual taking advantage of is a different ordeal. But nobody wants to feel like they got. And so
We don't get got. We go get.
we go get it.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I feel like there's people that are constantly trying to defend their decision. And right now we're at this really interesting point where I feel like we can all agree that the people that are in charge of us are
Insane.
old, insane, power hungry,
Don't have our best interest at their
power
at heart
hungry
at all.
egomaniacs that do not relate to us.
And we let it happen.
That do not relate to us, but they're like, well, this is just the best we can do. And it's like, no, it's not.
It can't
Everybody
be. It
in the
can't be.
world agrees that a couple of dudes in their mid to late 70s are not the best
Not the
we
best
can
choices.
do. Straight up. And so, but even then, even with that agreement, we can't agree that, for instance, if you put, well, heck, Bobby Kennedy's he's a 70-year-old too. But if you put the three of them on
geez.
stage,
Yeah.
One person sounds like somebody who's, I don't know, opened a book.
Yeah. And
You
he's
know?
fought for the good fight for a while. I'm a big Kennedy guy, but I've been got before. I got
I'm
before.
I'm not all
Let
in
him
on
talk.
him, but
Let everybody talk up there, man.
At this
we
point-
can't do Biden and Trump. That's in freaking sanity.
But
It's
gonna-
really
but
insanity.
it's gonna happen,
And
though.
that is crazy to me. 2 thoughts off of what you said. Tying us back to the good and evil thing and America and how it works. With the vaccine, with Pfizer, it's not crazy to say that Pfizer is so embedded with our government, to add another buzzword, Pfizer, that they have so many lobbyists, they're so embedded with our government that they made the decisions for the people. And their decisions had nothing to do with keeping us safe. It only had to do with their board members' bottom lines. Because if I make $1 billion and you make $10 billion, I'm poor compared to you, son. You know, that's the way they think. So tying that into the good and evil argument, does America almost work too good to where that, I think the system works? We're just allowing ourselves to be taken advantage of. A lot of this is our own doing. A lot of this is our trust in the fellow person. But I think one of the worst things, and this is mentioned in the Green Mile, is that they use their kindness against them. They're using our kindness against us. I think anyone who uses someone's kindness, like, hey man, can you help me? I need a ride somewhere. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to rob you. It's like, man, you took someone who was nice and doing nice things, and now they might second guess being nice to someone because they got burnt. That's a bad thing to do to somebody, man. And you can try to go and repent, and obviously you'll be forgiven if you go into the little box with the priest and do that whole thing. You'll be forgiven and you'll enter the gates of heaven, hopefully, if you're really, truly sorry and you get the last rites. But if you, with all of that, you've turned someone who is theoretically a good person and made him into a bad person. That's not good. And is that happening on such a grand scale to where these companies like Pfizer are making the decisions for us? And it's like, oh man. Second point, where like you were saying, this group usually falls in line with this and they vote this way. This group usually falls in line. I thought maybe I was just like, algebra kind of missed me. You know what I mean? I still got A's, B's, but I was like, I can get this answer without having to do this whole song and dance. And they're like, no, you got to do the song and dance because it's going to help you in the next level of algebra and stuff. And I was like, listen, if I can guess what X is before I'm plugging all this stuff in, let me do it. So I thought maybe politics and stuff like that were something I just didn't get, because I'm like, why would a group always side with something? It's changed over the years. Democrat, Republican, all of these terms have changed. Liberal, conservative. People are always evolving, always changing, always learning more. So to say something like those people always vote this way is crazy to me, but in real life, that's how it goes. That's how they plan these political strategies. They don't really think with nuance. And if nuance and logical thought drove the American public to their logic and their rational thought, then Vivek would have been front and center. He was all over Twitter. He was saying the most logical stuff possible. And it's like, well, he got 2% of the vote in Iowa. In Iowa, we're going to Iowa to check the pulse, the needle. I don't get that. That is crazy. Everything has to be readdressed. Everything has to change. But in order to readdress what we have going on in here in America, you have to rediscover, you have to learn to teach yourself what even is America. To tie back into the Statue of Liberty thing, is it possible, another thought experiment here, that America was built as this Sodom and Gomorrah, that people in other countries, we're a baby country as far as the grand scheme of countries go. I mean, we're probably somewhere in the middle now, I would say, with all the newer countries that have been around. But countries change. We've seen countries, we're 40 years old. We've seen countries' names change, borders change, all that stuff. were we just kind of like this golden cash cow that the rich people were like, yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to make as much money as we can in this place. Because the way our money is going with this fiat currency, this can't last forever.
No, it's not. I mean,
Like,
there's a
it
major
can't.
there's a major shift in wealth right now that's currently happening.
COVID
and dude
crushed us.
The crypto situation is bananas.
It's bananas right now.
Bitcoin is going to hit its all-time high today.
And they're only mining 900 a day.
Well,
and then
the
it'll
thing
be
is-
halved.
Yeah, the thing
It'll be
is so
halved
come
soon.
April it'll be the halving again. And typically what happens is leading up to the halving is it's not as profitable to mine Bitcoin, so there's a major correction before the halving. 30-40% sometimes, big hit, and it may very well still happen. It might drop to like 40. But what's different is this time we just got ETFs approved through the SEC. So basically, you can buy a
Electronic transfer
fund.
funds?
You can buy a fund like the S&P 500.
Gotcha.
You can do that with Bitcoin. Okay, so
are you buying
today,
into other companies
Today
with
is like a
Bitcoin?
monumental day for Bitcoin, because for the first time I've ever seen, and a bunch of people and all these, the exchanges that sell these things had no Bitcoin for sale. So these ETFs are basically, they're trying to swallow up as much of Bitcoin as they can.
Will
And
that
then-
kill Bitcoin?
No, I mean, actually,
If
it'll
they
probably
just
work
keep
the
it
other
all
way.
and don't.
But they're basically, but how the ETFs work is they're basically selling you a stock that says that you own Bitcoin. So they're holding, it's like holding physical gold, and then
Jesus,
somebody
they're co-opting our
Yes.
Bitcoin.
Yes, and so it's really wild, and it's causing like a short squeeze on the price, and that's why it's gone parabolic. Usually, it doesn't go parabolic until after the halving. This is unlike anything that's ever happened before. Like, there's still people that have seen the cycle
new
over the
world.
last 12, 15 years that are like, have seen this cycle kind of play out. And they're like, well, this is usually how it happens. But it's totally different now. BlackRock is swallowing it up. Vanguard is swallowing it up. All of these major power players and investors, which you posted a video. The guy, what's the clothing company?
Cancel this clothing.
Cancel
company.
this clothing
or
company.
Cancel this conspiracy is his other one.
And he's incredible.
He
and
is a national treasure.
And he
is-
shows-
he is TikTok's version of Edward Snowden in the now.
the way that he shows who owns what.
Maybe not that, but he's
Who owns what?
Yeah.
Like, it's scary when you see the house of cards that is built. Now, we've kind of said like America a bunch, but I do think that we have crossed over, especially since 9/11 and the Patriot Act, and like basically complete global surveillance happening at all levels, where even though we have these governments and we have these sovereign governments around the world, there's one government,
yeah. You really believe
and that's money.
You believe that?
Yeah, I do believe
That there are power players behind the
there.
scenes.
There's one. If it wasn't that way, then they wouldn't keep putting. If we had any control over that situation, if we had any control over how we handled the republic, then we would have better options. Probably the best thing that we could do for our political process is have like runoff voting, so that way through the primaries, basically, you vote for these people, and it works like a tournament. The people that get to a threshold, they move on to the next round in the voting, basically.
Oh, gee. We turn voting into March Madness. Our country will hop on real
Are you
quick.
kidding me?
Dude.
Start taking bets?
Yeah, FanDuel.
DraftKings?
Yeah, yes, dude.
Absolutely.
Jeez. Montel Williams tried to have a show like American Idol called The Next American President, and they shut him down. Like, you can't even find whiffs of it on the internet. And it's something I saw with my
This is a
own-
real thing?
This is a real thing. And
Not
I
a
think
Mandela
I have
effect?
tried to look it up, and you cannot find any. Maybe find something about it. But I was like, what a great idea. They'll take the money out of it. Because remember Ross Perot? If you ever look up Ross Perot clips, you're like, oh my God, this dude was talking about it back then. And Gore and Bush and Dole or whoever, they're all laughing at
Clinton,
him.
Bush, and Perot.
Yeah.
And
They're laughing him out of there.
that particular election. So I think the biggest symptom of all of this and the division of all of us, like in thought, and like the need to pick a side and to go to bat for one side or the other, is social media. I think that we
Social media, good or bad? Real quick.
social media is.
Okay.
I think that.
No, that's a deep question. You can go on with your thought.
But that's it plays into it. We are constantly under attack of information. If a story breaks, it's always we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think I said, it's not about having good news, accurate news. It's about having fast news. Whoever can break a story first, and no matter how true or not that story is, they can redact it tomorrow and say, well, actually, we said a couple things that were false. Nobody's going to remember that because the headline's already imprinted on everybody's brain.
They already consumed
We
you.
are constantly under attack of 2 sides, 3 sides, whatever, throwing as much information at us as they can, and to play on their, on our sensibilities, on our prejudices. I read a quote today, something like, "You will change 10,000 minds catering to prejudices before you change one mind with sound logic." And I think that that's true. I think that we're wired in a way where we're constantly on guard.
So we have to look inside, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's got to take a more. I think that it's happening to a degree. I think, like you asked, good or bad social media. Well, I think I was watching. I think we talked about him before. There's this guy who's just like. There's a lot of people on TikTok or on Shorts or that are building homesteads, and like they're finding ways to do this. They're creating content so that they can get off of the grid.
Dude, I think some free energy guys on my feed. Whoa, but like water-powered engines. I'm like, these guys are not
they're
long
gone.
for this world.
They're gone, Zoe.
Which sucks. I think that
that's happening. I think that a lot of times, for whatever reason, anybody that chooses to operate in their own way outside of the collective is looked at as a weirdo, as potentially a threat to
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, whatever, But until they're not, until they do something that's brilliant that everybody can it's like you can totally be a hermit that moves off grid and does your own thing and never bother anybody. And they're like, I don't know, that guy. I don't know how he makes his.
Better call the federal government.
I don't know how he makes his bread. I don't know, like there's something weird about that guy. But if you're like a great musician or an artist that are doing, people are like, oh,
yeah, I know.
He's just a brilliant. He's eclectic.
Oh, there's a quote about the line between brilliant or
genius and insanity.
Yeah, is thin or
it's a fine line.
Fine line. Thank you. It's a fine line.
But that's weird, right? Like that. How we are perceived in this world is based on what we provide it. Like,
I always think that's weird. It's like when a celebrity dies, people are like, oh my God, a celebrity died. And I'm like, who gives a rat's patoot?
Well, yeah, I mean,
but I do get it when, like,
I get it with music.
Like, I was weeping at the end of the last Adam Sandler concert that I went to with my dad. He did a montage of all of his movies. And he sang a song about it wasn't I want to grow old with. He sang that song, except he changed the words to "Thanks for growing old with me." I was me and my dad are both like, hey, we're manly man, holding each other. It was amazing. And then, but I was like, oh, if this dude passed away, he's giving me so much joy in my
Farley
life.
busted me up a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was, we were young when that happened. Musicians, I'll be bummed out if if it's a younger musician, especially someone who I dig on their, music. That's just my art medium that I connect with the most. Like I probably wouldn't weep if a painter. Which is silly, but it just maybe doesn't hit me as emotionally as a song does. But like
uncultured swine,
you get it. I feel like that's a weird thing. Like as far as it's a lack of empathy on our behalf. It's a lack of being able to look at everybody and be like. I think that's the biggest issue, like even with forced vaccinations, any of that kind of stuff. Like you have to do this. If you don't vote this way, then it was real nice whenever I remember, I think we've talked about this a long time ago. Like I remember going to the voting booth with my mom and like she wouldn't even let me see what she was filling out. You just didn't talk to people about how you voted. It was like the biggest secret ever. It's like, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I know.
And like there's there's something to be said for a blind vote. There's something to be said for not everybody's journal, not everybody's every political thought.
Yeah.
I feel like people are so much less interesting the more and more they get involved in that. I mean, honestly, like you're not like, how many times can you hear 7 or 8 people essentially parrot the same kind of talking point or line? You're like, is that what you think?
Yes.
Is that what you think? Because I heard you and 8 other people who you don't know say the same thing.
We're being manipulated.
So that's a really weird thing, and I feel like we have a hard time just seeing the value in life, in living life, and that everybody probably has their. I don't have a better idea for how you should run your house, and I'm one of your best friends. So some guy in DC, damn sure doesn't know better for you.
Yep.
You know, and
build me some roads, build me some bridges, help me out in the community.
Help me out.
I'm trying to
And maybe
live
if
here.
you're gonna make maybe if you're going to build me some roads,
bad subject.
I don't know. I don't call me crazy. If you're gonna do it, maybe you don't work on every north and south thoroughfare at the same freaking time. I don't know if it's too much to ask. Oh, you want? I just do me a favor and don't.
I think they picked that up. I'm writing you down. I'm writing you down.
Roads, man, they're wild.
Oh, the roads, roads. Well, let's wrap it up with this. What can we do? And I'll give you my thoughts. What can we do to kind of combat the good and evil thing? Because I don't think we're going to necessarily answer that question tonight. But I know what we're trying to do with the show. Just have a good time. Build out maybe some sort of frequency of just good vibes. Let them resonate a little bit. Spread the love as much as you can. And this is all stuff I'm just telling myself. Like, try not to maybe get upset about stuff that you shouldn't get that upset about. Maybe try to get a little bit more, not upset, but maybe active about things you want to participate in, because you don't want to live a life. Okay, here's a big question. We talk about all this stuff tonight, and the number one thing that I usually get from a lot of people is I'd rather just not know. You know, and I get that. Are we at the point where we have to know? And what is the benefit of knowing that all these companies run the same thing? Are our lives going to get so bad to some point that we are like, we let it get too out of control too fast? Like, when does the resistance begin? When is that V for Vendetta moment? Because you're right. We have had moments that thought people would be like.
Wasn't that part of the V for Vendetta thing? Like, they had a shot that everybody.
Yes,
like,
St. Mary's.
There's a bunch of these
movie's
situations.
wild, man.
I mean, we have
false flags.
We have false flags. We have real bombs going off.
Yeah.
30,000 dead in Gaza. Ukraine's on fire.
Unbelievable.
There is crazy stuff going on everywhere. And as long as it's not in our front yard, we're like,
I know. And we're
and
more connected.
what do I do? What does
what can
Craig,
you
the
do?
promotional product salesman, do about Gaza?
Clean up your little corner, I guess.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. What I can choose is I can choose empathy. I can choose to try and it wasn't too long ago. I was out with a friend and politics kind of came up, and they're like, "You sound an awful lot like a Trump supporter," and I'm like, "I do," because I didn't vote for him either time. But let's
you were talking about grabbing women by the.
But my point, I guess, my thing is like when.
Trump 2024.
If there's two, if there's two or more people that are having this conversation, I'm kind of trying to, rather than I've always loved the devil's advocate.
Yeah,
I've always loved to kind of.
It's good.
I do it with myself all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really feeling strongly convicted about something, I'm like,
check myself.
Let me run this through the. So
filters.
and I love it when friends check me.
Love it.
I do. I want my friends to check me, make sure that at least what I'm feeling is something that I actually feel, and it's not something I've maybe been programmed to feel.
Exactly,
maybe,
dude. Yes,
right?
Yes,
and so whenever these conversations come up, I used to be real quick to engage in them. And that was like early days of social media, especially. And every now and then I'll still get sucked in. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get the poison out real quick. I'm going to dump this poison. I'm going to dump this poison out real quick because I'm trying to go on about my day. I've gotten better about writing out my feelings and then just deleting them.
Yes.
It does help.
That helps so much.
It does help a bunch. Being able to edit, that's one thing that's nice. I encourage everybody. Like, if you find yourself engaging in these debates, or like if there's like a post that's not one of your friends, like just a page, actually that might be a good place to dump it. I don't really know. But like, instead of being so sure about something, work through it in like a Socratic method. Like, just kind of keep asking questions about it. Make sure you're getting, and honestly, like, I think, and also don't assume tone. Don't assume someone, because sometimes someone will say something like, oh, is that what you meant? Is that what you meant to say to me? Okay.
Like that? You said it like that?
You're going to say it like that? Because I'm going to tell you something.
I am a benevolent God, okay? And I will not be trifled with. And I'm his buddy, and I won't let him be trifled with either.
So we're about an hour in, hour and 10.
This has been a fun hour and 10 minutes.
Really
this
quick.
has been good.
I feel like we could just riff on this forever, but we do have some other things. We do have some other things. We're going to talk about a little
Giants.
You, Mike. Oh, we're
going to talk about
Little Giants.
Are you peeking into the red? Are you peeking into the red when you?
Yeah, we probably are. We'll turn it all down.
Okay.
Okay. You heard the man.
Great. You heard him.
You heard the man. If we're clipping or anything, it's Mike's fault.
Hey, get ready for 4 minutes of Steve. I apologize.
Listen, Steve's embarrassed about this, and I get it. I do. I understand why it's not. Listen, if you have kids, now's the time for you to maybe turn off.
Yeah, no. Grab your children.
Oh, you're right. Grab your children.
Grab your children.
Here's the deal. This was just us riffing. This isn't
just
a bit.
us riffing.
This isn't a bit. It's not a bit, okay? So don't this. We didn't even edit this.
No,
so
we were just laughing.
We just need a little commercial
Goofing.
break. We'll come back. We'll play you a song. We're gonna pick up.
Feed the riff.
Steve's gonna tell us about top 10 state parks in Missouri.
Yeah, it's time to get outside. Okay.
Where's the snow? Here's Steve with some message to your children. No, it's not Steve. It's
Kirk Gibson.
It's not Kirk Gibson either. Dang it. Okay, here's Steve. Okay, kids, quiet down. We're gonna bring out Urbania's newest professional soccer player, Kirk Brown. He's here to tell all of us how to get the most out of our day, how to develop some discipline, so that we can all make the lives that we want.
Hey, kids. Hey, settle down. Glad to be here. I am your motivational speaker, famous soccer player, Kirk Brown. Yes, the Kirk Brown. And kids, I know what you're thinking. How do I get to be the man that Kirk Brown is? Well, I got one answer for you, and it's drugs. Diego Maradona, what did he and I have in common besides the fact that we used to like to snoot an 8-ball of that white stuff right before the old game began? The answer is not much. That was basically the only thing we had in common, and we were both champions. So I guess 2 things in common. Kids, what I'm here to tell you today is something that's pretty neat, and that is drugs. Drugs are one of the coolest things that you can do. Every day of your life, they will make you a better person, and you'll own your day. You want to own your day? Be a busybody. Go out there and find what you need to make it happen so that you can get your fix of the day, because it will make you a champion. Thank you. Yeah, little Jimmy, right down there, I can see you, and you definitely look like you could use a heaping dose of drugs because you don't look cool at all. And as we learned in the first segment, drugs are cool. They're the coolest. Hey, I was thinking to myself the other day, what is something that brings everyone together? And the answer is drugs. Do that. So let's all do what? What was that? No. Yes. No. Yes to the drugs. Okay, thank you. Thank you right there. If you have your questions, I would like you to save them to the end. Unless they are drug related, like I have some drugs, raise your hand if you do. You will not be in trouble. This will be your only time to get this out. Anyone? Right there. He's got some. Go get it from him. He looks like a little PCP smoker. Get him. Yeah, I'll get you after the show. All right, kids. Kids, do you ever think to yourselves that my life could be filled with more vibrance by choosing drugs? It will. That's part of the deal of drugs. Make your life immensely better, solves problems, makes you a champion. Just like that. Hey kids, you know what they question me? How many times can you juggle? And I say, how many drugs do you have? Because that's all I care about. I'd like to thank the principal at Urbana High School here. I know this is typically a football town, but we also call this football because sometimes when we are playing this game, we like to kick it with our foot, and that's why we call it football. Just like cocaine comes from the cocaina plant, and that is a good drug, I will tell you that much. If you can get it straight from the plant, you're doing a good. You got? You? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Hey, everybody, you guys like drugs? Trick question. Yes, me too.
Kids, I think what my friend's trying to say is drugs, try them.
Drugs, try them, all kinds. The best ones. You ever snoot a little toot out of a coot? That'll make you a champion. Hi, guys. I was wondering, what does it mean to be a champion? And that, I sat there and thought, you know why? Because I did all those drugs that made me better.
I said, Grandpa, what's this picture here? It's all black and white. It ain't real clear. Is that you there? I said, yeah, I was 11. Then times were tough back in 35. That's me and Uncle Joe just trying to survive a cotton farm in the Great Depression. And if it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. All this one here's taken overseas in the middle of hell, 1943, in the wintertime. You can almost see my breath. Well, that's my tail gunner, old Johnny McGee. He was a high school teacher from New Orleans, and he had my back up till the day we left. And if it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. And yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. You should have seen it in color. This one here's my favorite one. This is me and Grandma in the summer sun, all dressed up the day we said our vow. You can't tell it here, but it was hot that June, and her rose was red and her eyes were blue. Just look at that smile, man, I was so proud. And if it looks like we were scared to death like a couple of kids just trying to save each other. You should have seen it in color. Yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray cover. You should have seen it in color. You should have seen it in color. That's the story of my life, right there in black and white. And if it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. Yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. You should have seen it in color. You should have seen it in color. You should have seen it in color.
All right.
Oh yeah, making up for lightning crashes. Why don't you guys deal with that, alright? When are you gonna deal with that? When you gonna deal with it? Oh my goodness!
You lost your wig, pal.
They've been killing the comments, buds.
Killing the comments. Should we check this thing out?
See what we got.
Checking
I
this
like to
thing
still
out.
have a receding hairline even with wigs, though. It's just a good look, dude.
That is a
It's
good,
just a good
I like it. I like it. A lot of real estate.
Yeah, why do people like foreheads so much?
Foreheads are
They're
overrated.
dumb.
That looks nice on you, dude. Guys, that was the best. Should have seen that shit. Someone said, I can listen now. Love y'all. Lisa Taylor can't wait to tell y'all about it.
That's a good one, dude.
It's a good one, fella. In my time, it was charcoal. Outstanding, guys. Thank you. Making me all teary-eyed over here. I love you guys. Thank you for that. We love to be camping, floating with that view. Me too. Sexy music time. What's up, Holly Smith? Hit it, babe. We are right behind you. We ride. That smoky white devil is no longer part of my life. Someone says, I'll do a little toot, but I will not freebase cocaine. That was Rachel. That's good. It's one of my favorite all-time internet videos of all time. Oh, you know, I drink a little tequila. I come upside with Sally's head. Steve can push drugs on kids, but we can't cuss in the chat line.
Yep, basically. Deal with it.
All right, drugs, try them.
Try them. I am actually anti-drug. That was a joke.
That was a
That
joke,
was a
little
big
PCP
joke.
smoker.
It was a little joke.
Always
fun
sweet to
times.
hear you guys jamming. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
That
Beautiful
was
guys.
fun.
Snatch your wig. This is my Andy Warhol phase.
Yeah, it is.
I'm feeling pretty good about my Andy Warhol phase right now. Steve, you were going to tell me, sir, tell us, tell them, tell the world about the top 10. We are.
pull 'em up. Let me pull 'em up right
Missouri
now.
made. Okay, we're true sons.
Yeah, we are.
We are true sons of the fair state of Missouri.
I hope that's okay with everyone.
I don't care if it is or not.
You know what?
True
Good
son
call.
doesn't
We're
have to
river
apologize.
people, bud. We're the river people.
I have a feeling that this is like, listen, this is, you're getting me fired up, bud. This is almost exactly parallel to the fall of Atlantis. Okay, what's happening to our rivers right now? This is the beginning of us turning into of a mass desertification of the Midwest, of the riverlands, of the fertile valley, of the confluence between the Missouri and the Mississippi. No, it's a problem, bud. It's a problem. We got a bunch of jagaloons driving Rolls Royces in Chesterfield, building flood walls,
just ruining it,
ruining
all
everything
for all of us.
Oh, hope you guys down south don't mind if we just, screw your entire waterway system up.
I gotta go to.
I'm sorry, I gotta go to Lou Fuse so my kid can kick up.
I'm sorry.
I call it Lulu Fuse, Lululemon Fuse.
Lululemon Fuse.
Guys, time for, and if you followed Nasmo, my failed attempt at trying to rub it in Craig's face after we broke up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start an outdoors thing because that guy's a loser and I won't ever see him again. I won't need him again. I won't laugh with him again. I won't look at him again. I'm a liar. I'm a dumb liar.
I had it good for a while.
I know, dude. You're dumb. You are so dumb. Now you're back in a basement. You're back in a basement. You're dumb. Hey guys, join in with what you think your favorite lists are. I mean,
Listen, the
not your
Hoso
favorite
Broads,
list, not your favorite list.
the Hoosier Broads,
your favorite parks.
The Hoosier Broads are saying it's a big, big problem. One of them is anyway.
No, they're not.
One of them is.
Yep. You've got them all there.
I'm all frothed up.
Yep. No, but we're gonna get some spring rain, guys. It's not even spring yet. It's not even spring yet. Believe me, when the spring rain comes, you guys are going to be like, the rivers are too high. The rivers are too high. Every year, the rivers get too high, pal.
You are
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Mike, you mind giving me a little speaker? Just a little bit, just so we can track everything.
The river systems are not... I would say what you said again.
The rivers are not high, is what they're saying.
Hello, Mike. Do we have a close up of Craig?
We didn't work on those.
Say it again. Say it again.
The rivers are not high.
Okay, I'll rewind it.
The rivers are not high.
Oh, I thought
You're all over the place. I'm gonna take this thing away from you. You're like a toddler behind the wheel. Okay, enough. Okay.
This is fun.
It's a blast. I'm having a blast.
More in Dama.
You were going to tell me about the top 10 Missouri state parks. Then you got me all fired up because what's a Missouri state park worth if it doesn't have water running through it?
They're dumb.
Have you ever been through a state park that doesn't have water?
I don't like it.
It's the dumbest.
Well, which brings me to number 10. It's always going to have water. You're not going to have to worry about it because we're going to go with, lead us off on our top 10 state parks in Missouri. Coming in at number 10 is Table Rock Lake State Park.
Okay.
This is the only park on the list I've never been to, so I can't tell you about the bathrooms or playgrounds, but what I can do is give you a link to a couple websites that might tell you, listen, I've been to Table Rock Lake, and the area is glorious. One of my favorite lakes to fish, one of my favorite lakes to swim in. It's so clean. It's clear.
It's cleaner than Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, my God.
I will say, when I moved to Springfield, like, it was still nice and clean. I feel like there was a lot of traffic left Lake of the Ozarks.
Really?
And brought that kind of nonsense down Table Rock, kind of dirtied it up a little bit. Not a bunch. It's still much cleaner than Lake of the Ozarks. Bull Shoals is the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Like, Bull Shoals is the clean lake of the bunch, I think. But Table Rock is great. That was like, I didn't go to the Lake of the Ozarks when I was a teenager, and I mean a couple times, but like that, we always went to Table Rock. It was only 40 minutes away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
And
That's such a sweet place
nice.
to be. You guys have so much stuff over there.
Springfield is like got really close proximity to some awesome fishing.
That's great. And Missouri has I'll put Missouri Springs. I'll say it. Give me a close up. Give me a close up right now. I'll put Missouri Springs up against anybody. I'll put Missouri Springs up against any dang waterway in any of the worlds. And I'm talking about spring-fed, which negates what Craig and I are even talking about a lot of times. Because our springs are pumping out medicinal water basically out at about 30,000 gallons a second, some of them. And they're filling our riverways. And it's the most... If you didn't see that little video I posted of Merrimack... Lucido's spot.
Merrimack Shores?
Is that what it's called? Merrimack Shores? Yeah, Merrimack Shores. That underwater GoPro footage. GoPro footage.
Listen,
GoPro
if there's
footage.
not a GoPro attachment,
Yeah,
we're about to make a lot of money.
The water is so beautiful. I'll put it up against anybody. So that's what I love about our river systems that they're so clear because we saw those. I'm
cook.
telling you about those pictures of people taking
Let him
float
cook
trips
now.
in other rivers that are
Let
just
him
mud
cook.
swamps. I'm like, you float in that? You're disgusting. Anybody's rivers in the entire continuous U.S.
Contiguous?
Continuous. And for number 9, you want to know what number 9 is?
I do. I would love to.
Because you just mentioned it. Lake of the Ozarks State Park.
Okay.
This park is fantastic for families. Anything you need is within a 20-minute drive. That's what's awesome about this one. You go to some state parks and you're off the grid. You may have a country store or a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
This, you're a 20-minute drive from bathrooms. I remember I stayed here at night by myself, dude.
Lake of the Ozarks State Park?
So I go to Lake of the Ozarks State Park. It is huge. It's got fishing, hiking, swimming, a beach, yurts, beavers, deers, raccoons, camping. I feel like Stefan or whatever. A one-eyed little person named Monique. You know, I used to do that. So then the trails are fantastic. It has one of the best lake beaches because you know how Missourians like to make their lake houses. They're like, beach life? That's always, it's always kind of missed me when they try to turn their lakefront property. They're like, beach time? I live on beach time. It's like, you don't.
Right.
You don't at all.
Right.
Okay, you can call that a beach. It's not. You been to Destin? Okay. So I spend the night there by myself, right? And Jen's like, you're just going to go? And I'm like, yeah, I got to shove it in Craig's face. Okay, I'll go spend the night at places by myself. I'm going to be a millionaire without that dude. And he's going to rue the day he ever decided to leave me. So, even though I technically walked out. No, do the... so I'm like, we could have played sad music too. God, we got so many options.
I hit you with a couple.
You did?
Well, not sad. I hit him with the sneaky music.
Okay, cool. So, but I go there, and at night, I'm going to go fishing. So at night, I'm going to go fishing. You got to walk down to this little boat ramp area, and I'm going to go fishing off these docks. It's huge. It's a real nice place. I think this is the park where this happened. I have my headlamp on, and I'm getting ready to grab all my stuff, and I'm sitting at a picnic bench. I had stopped by a gas station earlier, so this is the time, because it was so close. So I went and got dinner, because I didn't want to hang out at the camp spot the whole time. It was super cold. So I'm not like our winter floats, but it was a cold time. So
And you're flying solo?
Flying solo. This park at night is pitch black. Oh, let me rephrase that. This park is huge. There's one other camper that is there in a camper, like at the beginning of camp. I'm at the
You
other
pitched
end.
your tent directly next to him.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up, man?
He's like, dude, the's 100 campsites.
There's 400.
You still
It's huge.
You've already stripped
Yeah,
out
I'm like,
all
no,
of
what
your
are you
clothes.
talking
Like,
about?
I only have to make it weird, dude.
I'm scared. So hit the bleep button. You're right, hit the bleep. So no, I'm joking. I bleep this dude. That's it. So anyway, I bleep this person. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. I love having to say that after I joke a joke. So I turn. It's pitch black out here, dude. I can't hear the other person. I'm at my little picnic table. Grab all my fishing gear. I can just see right here. This is the reason why I have a spelunking headlamp now, because I just had one that's like a little bit of a beam and then a bright white light, that barely gets in front of you. I turn around and I have heard coyotes all night. I turn around and there's 40 sets of eyes staring back at me as far as I can see. As far
Just
as
glowing
the eyes,
in the woods?
Just glowing with my headlamp, but my headlamp isn't bright enough to see what they are. I'm like, oh my God, I am surrounded by coyotes right now. I'm like reaching, I'm like, oh my God, I'm inching closer and closer because they're all just stopped. And I'm like, they look like they're higher up than coyotes would be. It's 40 deer just all around my camp, just munching. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Whatever, they're deer. I'm going to go ahead and go fishing. So I start walking. The deer are not paying any attention to me. Well, then coyotes start howling. The deer start getting worked up. I'm like, by God, you found yourself in the middle of the hunt. What are you doing, dude? So I scurry back with all my fishing gear. I'm like, whoa. I go back. I run, get back to my camp. I'm like, all right, I'm going to pop a few NyQuil so I can sleep. That was my drug of choice for the night. Try them. They're cool. So I pop a couple NyQuil, and so I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I'm just waiting for him to kick in. I'm sitting at the picnic table, and I'm sure I've told you this before. I'm reaching for puppy chow, and I'm eating puppy chow, and I have a cat named Malala who's at home eating the puppy chow, sitting watching like soccer highlights or something. Because out there you can still get service too. Another great thing at camping. You're bored at night, put on some soccer highlights, you're good. I feel something creep near my leg and come up on the bench with me. Like the cat would when you're on the couch. Something with the physicality of a cat. And I'm like...
Is that why you brought her up?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, there's... So my brain registers, oh,
your
Malala.
cat just like loving on you.
Yes, like
they
my
rub
cat
on you,
jumped
sure.
up and is just hanging out. So my brain registered that feeling as normal and natural. But then I'm thinking, my cat is 200 miles away.
Yeah.
I look down, my hand is in the bowl of puppy chow.
And a
raccoon's hand is in the puppy chow with mine. He's eating puppy chow, okay? I guess I was so, dude, he's my buddy. So I'm so NyQuil'd out, I guess. I'm on the quill. I'm quilled out, bud. I'm so quilled, dude. I am Talib Kweli out there, okay? I'm quilled.
Okay,
I'm niked.
You're all quilled up, bud.
So I'm so quilled. I get so scared. I go, ah! And jump up like a cartoon mom seeing a mouse in Tom and Jerry.
But
is what I do.
There was a raccoon. You and a raccoon were holding hands.
I scare the raccoon. The raccoon does the exact same thing. Goes ah! And jumps on the ground next to me.
Freezes.
And we look at each other, and I'm like, oh, I actually don't care. You know what I mean? Like, eat a few puppy chow or
have some
whatever.
chow.
And he looks at me, and he's like, and scurries off, and I'm like, come back. I'm alone. Yeah, dude. So it's the closest I've probably been to a wild animal on accident, like that, without maybe like something hunting me and I didn't know.
I had a similar experience with these raccoons are getting brave, which is also a sign of the
raccoons
times.
are brave. No, they've always been brave. Camp raccoons.
I'm with 3 buddies in the woods. We are sufficiently out of our gourds.
Sure.
Staring at the stars, having a great time. Smoked some chicken earlier, warmed it up on the grill. I
love it. Oh,
dude,
love
I
it,
got
dude.
I got a whole tub of chicken out on the table.
Dude.
And we're lying there. Let's just say our legs don't work. And so
They're super long and weird.
and I hear something and I'm like, what? What is that? And it's pitch black.
Are you listening to music or anything? No?
Oh, we're listening to we're listening to like Spangle.
Okay.
So like it's not crazy to hear like a foil sound.
Kind of like my cat crawling up next to me.
And so, but
natural.
like something's not quite registering. And so I'm going to brave the elements and tell my legs, no, you have to work for a minute. Meanwhile, the other 3 buddies, they are also out of commission, but they're kind of aware of the situation because they see me like sit up. I'm like in one of those gravity chairs. I'm trying to figure out a gravity chair. And so I
theory chair.
I throw this thing up because at this point I have been floating in an ethereal wonderland. And so now I'm like, well, this sound of crinkling foil has brought me back to Missouri. I decide to lower the ramp on the spaceship, and so like I sit up and I get down. I'm like looking for, and I've got my phone.
Craig's putting the hazards on his spaceship
because we're not the only people camping. And for whatever reason,
a lot of people are just.
It was a fair enough amount. But we were bookended. Like we were just kind of in the middle. We were in Camp 7, where we always do the main camp.
Oh, okay.
There were like 3 tents here, and then there was like 2 tents over here. But they were all the same people. And it's like 3 a.m. We're getting weird.
Yeah.
You
gotta know by the time.
So at this point, luckily we have supersonic hearing, and so like I'm sitting here and I'm like voluming up and down through different parts of this because I don't want to like disturb anybody, So I have my phone in my hand, and I stand up and I'm kind of wobbly, and I spotlight over where I hear the noise, and there's this raccoon, and he had pulled the foil off of the top of the chicken.
Sure he has.
Okay. But once I spotlight him, he's like holding it, and he scurries off with just the foil. I'm like, oh, you dumb idiot.
Meanwhile, he's in a...
He's blowing foilies.
He's like, this is all I needed, dude. Thanks, dude.
Anyhow.
Okay, number 8 on our list of parks. Coming in at number 8 is Babbler State Park. You guys are
Babbler's all right.
Wildwood, just outside of St. Louis. The crown jewel of this park is the visitor center. Cool place for the kids. Staff was insanely helpful, and I went with my family, and we all had an awesome time.
The visitor center?
Dude, no, it is. It's super
Is it
cool.
like,
Check this out, like with your kids and stuff. Like, I got some pictures.
Oh, okay.
So
all
it's like
right.
they have everything that's like in the park. They have like
Okay. That's
yeah.
pretty
See,
cool.
it's like a little mini science center
Wilson's
there.
Creek. Springfield's Nature Center.
I've never
has
been
a-
to Powder Valley. I don't think, or if
So
I did, I
you
went
were
a
just
long
there
time
over the
ago.
weekend, weren't you? Yeah. Powder Valley.
So Babbler State
Thank
Park.
you for the stars, Kimberly.
If you're from St. Louis, obviously go check that one out. And even if you're not, why not?
Yeah, make a trip.
And this list is compiled. Let me go ahead and tell everybody. This list is compiled. I took like all of the top 5 Google lists. So like, Visit STL or Visit Mo, those websites like that.
Okay.
I compiled all their lists, gave them a point system.
Okay.
So like if you were number 1 on a list of 10, you got 10 points.
Nice.
Number 2, so that's how all these are ranked by the experts. These aren't necessarily my favorite parts.
All right.
Because I would go Han as one of my favorite.
Oh,
parts.
Han
I really
is
enjoy Han,
fun.
which I don't think there's a water element there. Is there a creek?
There is kind of on the back end. You get because the St. Francis is pretty close to there, St. Francis River. But what it does have,
Yeah, creek. There's a creek.
I once thought that it had water running through it because of the Whispering Pines.
Really?
Have you been on the Whispering Pines Trail at
Yep.
Han?
And the sound of the
I think
wind.
that's it.
Yep. The
Yeah.
sound of the wind rushing through those trees, the Whispering Pines, actually sounds just like a steady flow of water. It like really confused me the first
Wow.
time I hiked
Yeah,
through there.
look at that, dude. So I'll put up some of these pictures
Yeah, I
on
think that's a
Hoosier
great idea.
Sophisticate after this.
And if he doesn't mention any that you love, you should let us know.
Totally. This is you're not far from Farmington.
Correct.
At this park.
At Han, yeah.
Yep, at Han. The trails can be a bit dicey in areas where the creek flows. I do remember that. Bring waterproof shoes.
Yeah, don't worry about it because there's no water in them.
That's true. Yeah, you might be just walking rocks.
Just walking on sharp
But
rocks.
some of these pictures I have of this park, it's absolutely beautiful.
Han's great.
Then we have number 5. Or am I at 6? I'm at 5, right? What was Han? Oh, Han
I
was
think it
7.
was 7.
6.
Yeah, so 6.
Quiver River State Park.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which that one's not too far.
Wait,
from-
that's up by like
it's
Troy,
north. Yep.
right?
Right by Troy, Missouri.
Cuivre.
Yep. And
Never
it's,
been there.
It's a
I mean,
hidden-
I've been through there, but I haven't been to the park.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a hidden gem amongst the usual Ozarkian haunts. Most of the time, it's a southern trek that will take you to the promised land, but not this time. Troy is a nice little town with the Casey's, so grab some pizza.
Get some pizza while you're there. Casey's got great pizza.
If you like fishing or kayaking, there's tons of room for that. They have rentals right by a little Missouri Hoosier beach where Midwesterners dream of Destin. Good job, Steve. Oh, is that a dolphin? No, it's a largemouth bass. Camping is abundant. There's a Lake Lincoln that is there. They have yurts, and there's a spillway that flows from the lake. That is one of the coolest things about it. So, and here's like the spillway. See that big long like spillway thing?
I can show it. Will that show
Yeah,
up?
that works good.
Will that show up? No. Will that show up?
No.
Is that showing up?
not
For
showing
everybody?
I'll post pictures. No, here, let me show it again, dude. Number 5. Let's get to it here because we only got about 20 minutes left here. Maybe we'll run a little long tonight.
Mike, on that Sony, turn that off, please. Already. Thank you, sir.
Was the sound?
Did that fix the?
That's
that
gotta
fix
be
that
fixed. It's
sound
picking
should
up
have.
the camera. Okay, number 5.
Is that real quick, guys? Give me a thumbs up or something if that echoing stopped. If that handled it, I think it should have. The drugs are kicking in. Everybody's going echo. Okay,
How
yep,
did that turn on?
we're good. I don't know.
Mike, why did you turn it on? Why are you sabotaging us? God,
Fixed.
dang.
Better. Everybody,
Okay,
we're
cool.
good.
Number 5, State Park, Elephant Rock State Park. I think a lot of people have checked this
Oh,
one out.
who
Arcadia
doesn't
Valley.
love Arcadia Valley? It's where I'm retiring.
Oh, it's so beautiful. 1.5 billion year old granite boulders lined up like elephants, tail to trunk, hence its name. And just the trails out here are so freaking beautiful. I'll post some pictures of that.
All of the granite on all of the curbs in St. Louis came from Elephant Rocks.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really neat. Like there's a little tray, and I question this. I question this a little bit, but there's like a tray outside of like one of the first big boulders when you first come up to the trail, and it's got like all these pebbles in it, little granite pebbles, and they're like, at one point these were the size of these.
Oh yeah.
Now, I can buy it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's exactly how that works.
I'm no scientist.
I'm no scientist, but like every pebble couldn't have been, some giant. I don't.
You don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a geologist.
I don't know.
Take it up with the Hoosier Broads.
Yeah, are you talking rocks? Jesus, I'm never
actually,
going to hear the end
real
of
quick,
this.
real quick. Someone did say something about what is worse. Oh, I lost it.
Good.
We're trying to find what was worse: forced vaccinations or
Steve
throwing
the
rocks.
Who said that?
I don't know,
think I
but
know. I think I know. Number 4 is Haha Tonka.
Haha Tonka's great.
Love Haha Tonka. That's by the lake.
Kind of a
in the
bummer though. I
Ozarks.
don't think you can go up to the castle anymore.
Oh yeah, when I went there, you could walk like around the castle.
Yeah,
like,
you used
there's
to
a
be able
trail.
to kind of play all up in it. We used
I
to
could
get
see
up
why
in
they
it.
wouldn't.
Yep.
I mean, you still could, I guess.
The prehistoric park in the Imperial area is Mastodon. Yes. Love sitting in the creek.
Okay.
Somebody asked that.
I'm just giving you the list, people. Like Jesus. There's an awesome land bridge at Haha Tonka. Everyone talks about the castle. Obviously, it's so cool. It was, I think a guy from Kansas City wanted to build a mansion in the style of French castles.
Yeah.
And
It's
it caught
something
on
pretty wild.
fire, and then the blaze spread to like these other buildings on the property, and they're like, the embers made it all the way here, and I'm like, this guy is doing some insurance fraud here. They called the authorities.
That's right, kids. Insurance fraud.
Don't do it. But there's like a little, see how you see there's like a trail underneath, so it makes like a little cave with openings at both ends, if you will. So this cool little land bridge, you can walk all the way around that. It has a part that goes down to the lake where it feeds in from a little offshoot where there's like rapids, people were fishing and stuff. Really neat. Really
Awesome.
neat part.
Awesome. Yeah, Haha Tonka's sweet.
Right now we're up to number 3 on our list. And
3, really?
Yep, we're already in 3.
cruising
We're
through
cruising
these
3.
things.
I don't want to. Johnson Shut-In State Park.
Oh, baby. Can we just say the prettiest picture I've ever seen in Missouri is like when you get down pretty much to the bottom where the shut-ins are, the color of the water is like you're in Bora Bora, dude.
Yep,
It's
there it is right there.
unbelievable. It is the most beautiful aquamarine emerald color, and the shut-ins themselves are super cool. Sitting in like we'll go down there and spend. Actually, have almost got a pretty big ticket the last time we were down there.
Hey,
we
big
went on the
shoots.
run. We went on the run. It was actually ridiculous. Guess I'm gonna blow your mind here. You ready for this? Can I ask you a question?
Oh, yeah. What kind of a question you want to ask?
Well, I'll tell you what kind of question I want to ask. How many state troopers does it take to ruin people's times at a state park? One, except they had 14.
Well,
And
yeah.
I watched them line up, teenagers.
People
I mean,
drinking?
jumping off of the rocks into the water.
Oh, I get it.
$500 tickets.
Oh, geez, Louise.
$500 tickets.
Oh, man.
So this drone comes down as me and the wife and the kids are jumping off the rocks, and everybody else, because there's 100 people
A
jumping
Fed
off
drone?
the rocks. A drone's coming down. I'm just having a good old time. I have no reason to believe someone's just not getting a cool shot of the of the river with the drone. And I'm like, hang loose, bro.
You try to get as close to it as you can.
Dude, I'm waving to it, giving it a thumbs up, and then like as I'm doing that, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. Then a couple of the local
It's
yokels
red
are
and
like,
blue lights.
I think that's one of the bad ones, dude. Anyway, the guy's like, hey, you come down from there, or you come up here right now, meet me in the parking lot. We're like, yeah, okay. We'll be right there. And so, like, we just stayed down on the water, changed our clothes real quick. Like, it was awesome, real incognito, swapped hats. Like,
oh, yeah.
stayed down there. I was like, if he wants us, he can come down. He wants to write me a ticket. He can come down in this water and write me a ticket right here and there.
So you're saying you had an extra set of clothes and you changed hats, and the cop came down there and he was like,
The cop didn't come down there.
Where'd they go?
We took our
Where
time.
are
We
they?
didn't leave
Hey,
until
have
the
you
parking
three
lot-
guys
There
seen
were-
these other three guys
Yep.
jumping off? You're like, no.
It was like it was like Clark Kent stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly. I put on a pair of glasses. The guy was like, "Where'd that fella go? Who looked like
Anyway,
you?"
Johnson Shut-ins is awesome. It's
One of my faves.
sitting in those little pools. It's like having the little whirlpools that are in between all the shut-ins. It's like they're like cut out for
Yep,
you.
kids
It's
had a blast.
dude.
It's an hour and 45 from St. Louis. 2 stores on the property, bathrooms, changing rooms. May not be the best place for small kids because all the rock formations that you got to walk through. The rocks under the water are the slickest substance
They're
in the history
slicker
of
than
mankind.
snot on a doorknob.
I forget what I did. I didn't wear my water shoes. This was hilarious. You know that big pool at the
I
end
know
where
exactly
you're
what
talking
you're
about?
talking
And
about.
it's got that big flat rock walking into it. I had to do like a full swim crawl until I was in this much water, and everyone is just like trying to watch people
Sure.
watch, and I'm like, behold.
Yeah.
I can't make it up this rock formation. Like
Absolutely.
I will, but this thing is slick and I don't have shoes on, so I made a great mistake. Please have some laughs at my expense. I don't care at this point. So that was pretty fun. But honestly, that water is so beautiful, so cold and refreshing. It is awesome. So now we need number 2.
Did he hide behind a sapling? Park Rangers. It wasn't Park Rangers. That's what pissed me off about it.
What
It was state troopers.
Oh, God.
Just like whenever we were freaking floating on the river. Can we please abolish the freaking state police? Can we do it? God, I'm not like one of those guys like defund the police, but please defund state troopers and make them disappear forever. They're the worst.
I mean,
They are pirates, period. That's the only purpose they serve is to take money from people. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm getting fired up. But listen, the only purpose they serve is to be road pirates and river pirates. Okay? And they're just here to steal $500 from you for jumping in the water, or they're going to run speedboats at breakneck speeds while you're floating down the river in a rubber tube at less than a half a mile an hour. Yeah, we're the ones endangering the world. Get out of here. Defund the state troopers.
Park number 1.
Yeah, we're on park number 2.
Part 2.
And this one's fine, but it's everyone from St. Louis has been there. It's too crowded for me. It's not one of my favorites, but it's Castlewood. I'm not a
Castlewood's
huge.
nice. I don't go there often, but it's nice.
And then I actually don't have number 1. I think it was either Merrimack Springs, because I didn't go to this one. I never made it to it. That's why I fail in most things and following through with them.
We'll get a bunch of people going to bed. Go to bed then, Rachel, if that's what you want to do.
bed.
You know what?
Rockbridge.
You really hurt my
State
feelings,
Park,
Rachel,
which I've
going to
never
bed
been
early every Monday night. It really bums me out.
Stay up. Rockbridge Memorial State Park.
Columbia?
That up. Yeah, that's it. Yep,
Columbia.
Yep. That one always gets high remarks. I've never been there.
I haven't been to Columbia. I'll throw in a couple honorable mentions.
Okay.
One of my favorites is Tom Sauk.
Oh yeah.
Tom Sauk is the highest point, but some of the cool, like there's such a payoff halfway through that trail of a 100-foot waterfall. It's running in the early spring.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
It's really a cool spot. Not too far from Hahn. Not too far from Johnson Shut-ins. Well, it is kind of far from Hahn, but not too far from Johnson Shut-ins. Just a little bit further down the way. Yeah, dude, Tom Sauk's awesome. Not a state park. Also in the same region, probably my favorite hike, Pickle Springs. Oh, Pickle Springs is something really nifty.
We went out there in the dead of summer, and I thought we went off trail on accident.
Okay.
Me, Oliver, and Ivan was 3.
Oh, that's tough.
It was
and you're carrying them.
terrifying because some of the parts I'm like, I had my GPS where my vehicle was, so I'm walking towards it, and I'm like, how the hell did we get off the damn trail? But it was just so overgrown. It's the land before time out there, dude. And there we saw no less than 10 snakes in all those little creeks because it was just like
Sure.
It was a warm day. They were sitting out. I'm like, oh my God.
For only timber rattler I've ever seen in the wild was in Tom Sauk walking back on the trail.
I remember you had that video.
Oh, dude.
Thick.
It was, I mean, that
was
big
a
around.
Thick boy.
And 3.5 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big one.
That was frightening.
And I stopped. I'm like, I feel like I should tell, because there was like a couple of young.
You were like, whoa.
There was like a couple of like, crikey! Listen to him rattle. I'm really pissing him off. It's the worst Australian accent ever. There was some. Like
I'm really pissing him off, mate.
That's much better. Little Kiwi.
I am pissing him off, mate.
There was like some younger girls that were hiking behind us, and they were just kind of beat bopping around the trail, tick-tocking, whatever. And I was like, I feel like I should maybe just turn around and warn them, hey, there's a 3-foot venomous snake that's just kind of cruising out here by the trail.
And they're like, quit hitting on us, old man.
100%.
No.
They're like, okay. And I'm like, let the snake do it then, okay?
You pick it up by the tail.
Yeah, here you go. Let it do it then.
Satan? That snake probably represented Satan to a certain extent.
You know what else is no joke, Mike Lindner? The bears. Whenever you catch a salmon and a cow moose, they're no joke.
They're no joke.
They're no joke. We're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. You and Mike have a story. I'm going to jump in the cockpit.
All right.
Play around a little bit with some voices. Let's. I'm just going to give him a quick little break just to swap out with Mike. I'm going to kill these mics. I'm going to make him find the medicine, make it real weird.
Okay, good. I got to go scratch the skin off my skull because these things are synthetic. They give me a rash, I think.
I'm going to go
scratch
the skin off of my skull and my soul, which is where the shadow people live.
Yeah, they're digging holes out now.
Yeah. All right. Find the medicine, folks.
As a gay college student lay hospitalized in a critical condition after a severe beating, this small city, which bills itself as Wyoming's hometown, wrestled with its attitudes towards gay men.
Who's this cute guy right over here by me? Well, that's Mike Ote. Everybody knows that, yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Simps.
How y'all doing?
He's usually the mastermind behind the ones and twos over there. Well, we decided to bring his pretty little self out on camera. Close up on him. Close up on this guy. Let everybody see how pretty he is.
I think my wig's a little backwards.
No,
Today,
your
I
wig
kinda
looks
like it.
phenomenal,
I like it.
dude.
I like
Don't
it. It's nice.
don't tell him it's a wig.
I mean, it's
Ever,
not.
Don't
never,
do my
ever
hair.
apologize
My
for your
hair.
wig, Mike.
Dude.
My real hair.
My
I took
synthetic
off
hair.
the wig, and this is the outcome.
Mike, we almost perished in the woods together, speaking of trips, and I want to tell this tale as a cautionary tale to all of our listeners out there, because maybe one day it'll save their life. You know what I mean? What was the idea behind the original trip? Why don't you lead us off with that? Because
So the idea of the original trip was to take you down to a part of the Current River that we have family members that own a little place down there, and it's a nice little spot. Nice little spot to go fishing.
Donovan?
You know?
Or Van Buren?
Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Missouri. It's not that far. One of the most beautiful spots on the Current. And
Van Buren's about 3 away, isn't it? 3 hours? 2?
I think 2.5.
2.5, okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
think I can get there about 2.5.
Okay.
And yeah, so we just like, you know what, we're just going to get on the water. We're going to park in this one spot, and we're just going to get in.
It was me, Jen, you, and Joe, and we were staying at a baller pad, dude.
It's a nice little cabin.
That cabin is unbelievable. The cabins in Doniphan and Van Buren along the Current River are some of the coolest log cabins Missouri has to offer. And
Very
the
nice.
river right there, like Craig, you were talking about that blue color earlier. That Current River down there has pools of that blue. I mean, it was amazing. We were swimming at night and stuff.
yeah,
I mean, it was
beautiful.
so cold and
Ooh,
refreshing.
and we learned about gigging.
Oh yeah, those people were
Oh,
gigging
man.
all night.
Steve-O right here brought the old guitar down, and man, we had a crowd.
Yeah, the giggers all
They
came to
paused
listen
gigging.
to come and listen to the guitar playing. And I was like singing songs like, "Don't listen to me sing." Remember, they were messing with their heads, and they're like, "Oh man, I don't know what to think." But no, we had binoculars, remember?
Yes.
And we were watching them gig, so we could see
Yeah.
the fish as they were gigging them. Like it was wild. That was a wild
crazy.
experience.
It was because
That
they
was
had a
Friday
boat
night.
that had like a giant brush guard on it.
And huge
And
lights.
then they would like lean over it.
Yep.
And then like
With
5 or
pitchforks.
6 spotlights out in front, and it was insane.
Dude, at one point, there was a huge fish that swam underneath their
That
boat
thing
that
was
you could
massive.
see with like, oh my God,
Never
it was
seen
nuts.
anything that big.
So that was Friday night.
Yes.
We had a good old time
It was a
Friday
good
night.
night.
And Saturday, we were going to wake up, drive to a place that had burnt down,
Yes.
and then float back to our
burned
land.
down 1 year prior.
Yes. So we had seen that place on the drive-in, right? Couldn't you?
Yeah,
see
dude, it was flat.
So it's a little bit downriver from.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's we're gonna go there and float to our land.
Yes. That's the objective.
Yep. And we're gonna land back at the cabin. All of our stuff is there. We had all of our own kayaks. We were in We had 2 wakeboards, a miniature kayak, and my
And then your
inflatable.
blow-up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 2, not wakeboards, paddle boards.
Yeah.
2 paddle board.
Yeah, they're the ones you can stand up on.
Yeah, Jen and Joe
Or
were on
sit
paddle.
down.
Yes. Which those are great
And
for
they're
float
really
trips.
nice.
They're
I mean, we
great
had
to
the
lay
cooler
on them.
They
Oh,
could
it's
lay on
awesome.
them. They had plenty of room.
We went to a park right by that place to put
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Because we couldn't put in at the place. It had burnt down. Burnt down to the ground. It was ashes. It was smoldering, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
it
like
was.
wasn't that long ago when the place burnt down like that weekend. So we get out all of our gear, blow everything up. We're having a good old time getting ready. You're going floating, Craig. You know what I mean? Like you're going out there, you're feeling good, dude. We felt as good. And I'm always notorious for checking the map now with GPS, checking maps and seeing how far you are in the river. When you want to stop. When this time I'm like, no, I am just going with the flow. We are going with the flow. I had the greatest night of my life. Now I'm going to have the greatest day of my life. Let's do this thing. We put in.
Did not check the map either.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
And
check
we got what? Maybe a half hour, 45 minutes down?
half hour, 45 minutes. We're having a good old time. We went through a couple real nice rapids.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, it
and
was
actually,
so
it was a
awesome.
part of the current that I had never been in.
Yeah, I don't think I'd been in there at
No.
that point yet either.
No.
I mean, blue, crystal clear, blue
The girls
rapids.
having a blast.
Oh man, they're on the paddle board, just barely. They're cooking through all these rapids, right? Like it's
They're
fun.
doing really well.
Well, I could see why they called it the Current River. You know what I mean? Like the current was moving, the water was up. We had a lot of spring rain. We get about 45 minutes to an hour. We had talked about maybe stopping or whatever.
Yep.
So I check my map to see how far we've gone. I get out my phone, and I realize that what it appears on my map is it appears that we've gone in the wrong direction south on the river, and
Very
we need
much
to
so.
go. We need to go north. We're heading towards Arkansas. So I hand the phone to Mike here. I call him over. I don't want to bring too much attention, so I hand the phone to Mike. Mike does that with the phone. Mike turns it upside down and tries to. I can see Mike's face totally shift because you've realized what we've done, right? At this point,
Steve's going this way, and I go.
he's trying to make it so that we're going the right way on the phone, and it's not working. There's no way to make the phone make sense that we're going the right way. So,
Hey, bud, we need to pull over.
I remember Joe and Jen.
They're still having the time of
They're
their
having,
life.
and they're getting ready to go down the next rapid. Remember, and they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna go past these next rapids.
Nope.
And
Nope.
then we'll
Let's go.
stop and
Come on."
eat." So we're going through them, and I'm like, me and Mike are like, we should probably maybe stop before we get through this part that's moving so swiftly. We'll never be able to get back up it, dude. Never be able to get back up it. So we stop. We check the map. We are now traveling south on the Current River.
Maybe about 15 minutes and we'd be in Arkansas.
Yes, we're trudging towards the Arkansas border. There is a boat ramp about 10 miles in the direction we're headed that is called like Roaring River or something like that.
Couldn't remember.
It's a park there, which this is so cute. Joe goes,
Roaring Ridge.
well, is there any way Mike can maybe get the car and come pick us up? Craig, the sides of the river are complete wilderness woods.
Just woods, man.
And I'm like, well, even if Mike could get to could get like somewhere near here to a road, there's nowhere to be like, hey, let me pull down by the river and pick you guys up. We're stranded at this point. I'm starting to kind of freak out because we got a late start, remember? We're notorious for that. So we had fun. We ended up getting a little bit of a late start. So we needed to kind of move down the river a little bit. Now we have a decision to make. Do we keep going and walk back from the next boat ramp? Do we go to the next area where we think we can stop, try to get out and do something there?
I have no idea.
Do we take the just the kayak? And Mike goes,
Yes, who
and
suggested that we try to go up river
I don't know.
on the Current?
We try to go up the current on the river. We're all out in the middle, just paddling as hard as a human can and making no ground back
and
upriver.
we did tow. We tied one on.
We're towing.
We
You were
tied-
towing.
we tried
You were
towing.
towing. It wasn't gonna
Up
work.
the Current. They
We're-
call it the Current for a reason.
We're making less progress and we're tiring ourselves out.
It's
now,
bad. Now it's worry time.
Now it's
'Cause
worry
the
time.
sun's going down.
We're gonna be in trouble here in a minute. We're gonna have to sleep on the river, and we are in swimsuits. We did not
So
pack
scary.
for cold.
So scary.
Out of nowhere, we hear.
Two very nice. What are they? John boats?
John boats with jets.
With what? 250s on them?
Yes. So they're jet boating down the river. It's a bunch of dudes, SEC dudes, like a Texas
Miss.
A&M guy,
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. And they're like, hey, what's they pull over. They're just hanging out.
Their wives in sundresses.
They were like,
and
hotty toddy,
giant
hotty
sun
toddy,
hats.
Yep.
baby,
They
hotty
did,
toddy.
hotty
I
toddy.
mean, they were fancy.
Yeah, they were. And their daughters or something went to Ole Miss, and they just bought some land out there. They like to jet, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, oh, should we ask them or whatever? Thank God, Joe. Joe's like, hey, we're stranded out here. Can we get some help? They end up putting all of our gear on their jet boats,
And taking
leaving
us
their
upriver.
wives at the river and taking us upriver.
Taking us upriver with
and
all
we,
our shit.
And we just make it back. Oh, write his name down. Beep him.
Maybe
Beep him.
20
Beep him.
minutes. Maybe 20 minutes until
Oh,
we
yeah.
get back upriver.
Yeah, getting back up the river was like
20
nothing.
Maybe.
To get back up it, I'm like, oh my God. It would have taken us a year
Second
to
time
get up
out.
the river.
I'm just gonna throw a quick pause. It took you. You guys floated 20 minutes by jet boat past where you were gonna pull out.
Oh,
in
it
the
was
wrong direction.
In the wrong direction.
So we started
Where
in
you
the
get
wrong
off.
direction.
We started where you get off.
We should have started at,
So
at
you
our
did. So you
place.
didn't shuttle up. You didn't shuttle up river and then
We
float down to
shuttled
where you
down
camped.
river.
Oh,
We shuttled
Jesus.
down river.
Oh Jesus!
Yes. So that's the predicament we're in. And we're like, what do we do? These guys saved our butts big time. Shout out to those
I was
guys. I'm sure
trying
they're
to
watching.
hand the money, and it apparently is a thing on the Current. When it rains, when something
Yep.
bad happens,
Yep.
these boats go out and they grab people.
Yep.
and
Go
they
figure.
Bring them
Yep.
back
River
up.
people.
Current River's got a strong current.
Yep.
Man, nothing
I know.
getting nothing past you guys. Skittles said, get to a boat ramp and getting Uber XL would be my go-to decision. That's a great idea, Skittles.
There's
Except
Uber
there
XLs out
is
there.
no
Yep.
Uber
Thank you.
Yep.
anywhere
I don't think it
outside
works
of
out in
city
Van Buren.
centers. I can't even
Don't
get
think
an
it
Uber
works
in
in Van
Hillsboro.
Buren.
Yeah, that's tough. That'd be a tough ask. So yeah, we almost died on the river, guys. Always check the maps.
Yes.
Before you get on the river.
Always.
As a general rule of thumb, if you're going to go camping and do a float, you're going to want to shuttle upriver and then
go
float
away.
down and pull out at your camp.
Unless
just
you got a
typical-
spot downriver where people are waiting with cars.
You can park a car down
Yep.
there. If you've got two cars, you can park one downriver if you'd like.
Yep. Yep.
That will be the last time I ever do that. I spent years in the Boy Scouts.
River
Maps
people are the
my
best.
best friend.
River people are the
And
best.
it's the one week, and I said, you know what? I don't care.
I know. We had not a care
Did
in
not
the
give a
world.
shit.
We had two.
And
He did it again.
So,
Craig, write his
mark
name
it down.
again. Okay, well thank you,
I did
Mike.
pretty good.
We
I
are
did
going
pretty
to read your cards now.
Oh, we're gonna read Mike's cards.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. We can definitely
thing going on tonight. We're just gonna try it out and see what
we
happens.
can definitely. I'm gonna get in on this. Let's clean that up there a little bit. I'm gonna come over here. Okay, guys, we're trying something new tonight.
Read the riff.
If you love,
Give him a beef stick.
I love you, city folks, says
Feed the riff.
Jason Brandstetter. I get it, Jason. I get it. These guys, these whole city slickers, they just don't get it, bud. We have a lot of godless heathens on our page, and they like to put their entire, future plans, daily activities, basically all of their faith into cards. And so the thing is that I have room in my ethos for a little bit of everything. My thing is that it's very important that all of us find how to tap into our magic. If you give me a standard oracle deck or a standard tarot deck, like I can tell you very basic rudimentary things, but I don't have that magical ethereal connection with the magic tarot cards. What I do, however, have is our own set of tarot cards that I can channel. Steve can channel. This is Hoso Tarot. This is how we're going to tell you what you go. So anybody that wants to volunteer to have their cards read, we're going to do Mike's to start.
We'll do 4 of Mike's.
We'll pull 4 cards to let Mike know where he's at, and then we're going to pick maybe 1 or 2 lucky chatters. And we're going to read some of them terror cards, James Thomas. Here we go. So,
Mike, close your eyes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, of course.
Pick one. Okay.
Hang on 1 second here. I'm going to do this. All right. First card. First card is.
This is a Keith to Chuck
Okay,
Star
keep my eyes closed.
Rookies. That is a powerful card in the deck. This is a man who once took a hockey puck, and was it his 500th goal or something? It was a landmark goal. 500 sounds like a lot, but Chuck had some real good years, bud, and he's a workman. Okay, he took a puck to the face to score a goal. He's a Blues captain. He's someone you can lean on, someone you can rely on, someone who's going to have some offspring who are going to be some superstars as well.
Absolutely. And
That's a great card.
And the thing is, it is a great card. It is shadowed by a little bit of a tough lesson that we all have to go through, which is you can do the right thing, you can play the right way, but you are never safe from the trials and tribulations that life's going to give you. It could be weeks away from the end of your career, and you might take the first puck you've ever taken in a lifetime of hockey, get your teeth blown out of your head. And you still got to stand up. You still got to stand up, and you still got to go out there and play hard.
Your teeth blown out of your head.
All right, so that's Keith Kachuk.
Spit my zin out.
All right.
That made me spit my zin out. That
Okay,
is
so
good.
next card.
You're never going to win a Stanley Cup either. All right. I don't want to direct you, so you pick. Oh.
We got a big one here. Okay.
Oh, this one was a card in the deck. In old decks, very, very powerful. Now in the new decks, this card is back and back with a vengeance.
My goodness, Neon Deion Sanders. Let's
Sanders
talk
rookie
about
card.
what you're doing. Deion Sanders rookie with the Yankees. Okay, Deion Sanders, one of only a handful of 2-sport athletes, the only one to hit a home run in the World Series and then score a touchdown the same week.
Wild.
That's a heck of a stat. Now the coach. What this means, Mike, is even though you got a little flash and a little pizzazz, and when I say a little, I mean all of it, you are also a leader of men.
Yes. Yes.
Over a lifetime of shiny, diamond encrusted fame. Oh, look at me! I'm the man. Humility,
Substance.
Over time, Father Time has formed humility in you that has formed you into a leader of men.
Yep. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful card.
Thank you.
Prime time is a nice pull, says the chat line.
Ooh, we got his first bad one.
Okay.
Can't be
Hey, you
interpreted
got to have a
in
bad
reverse
one.
ways.
You got
Okay.
two
Can be
good ones.
interpreted.
Well, we got to make sure that when we're pulling them, because if you pull them in reverse, it could mean the opposite. Is that?
That's. I know.
It's my second favorite Rhine.
Oh, really? Are you a fan? See, this is where it comes in.
Interesting enough.
Because this card can be interpreted.
This can be interpreted a lot of ways. If this card's pulled in St. Louis, the first reaction is adverse, and people are like,
Yep.
I don't know what to think about that
Yep.
guy. But when you really dig deep, what you end up seeing is someone that goes about playing the game the right way. Hard-nosed. Hard-nosed.
Yep.
A guy that you can't help but respect, even if it feels like he's always against you. Ryan Sandberg, to me,
Listen, he's going to get
it's
you
not a bad card.
He's
a guy that garners respect,
Yes,
no matter what.
Yes, because he's going to get 100 runs. He's going to hit you about 20 bombs. He's going to get you about 60 ribbies.
And he's going to play Gold Glove defense.
He's going to steal you 30 bases. He's going to bat 300. He's going to play solid.
He's a solid guy.
defense.
He's just a guy that
solid.
he's just a guy that off the first, at first glance you're like, ew, I don't like the way he
Yeah.
looks. I'm judging a book by its cover. And then once you open it up and you get to like the second or third chapter, you're like, dang, he's so rich.
Because people are repulsed
It's a
by
rich
you.
experience.
People
Yes.
are repulsed by you at
Your
first.
curb appeal is tough,
but
almost
in the end,
gag worthy.
Yep. But in the end,
damn, do they respect you?
You'll never be a champion, just like that first card.
Yeah. I would say, based on what we got going on here,
You're not gonna win many.
not a whole lot of championships.
All right, one more. Ooh, this may change things. This may change things here.
Good or bad?
Because we got one of the cards that isn't your typical card. Doesn't get drawn a lot.
Okay.
Doesn't get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And that is the Vezina Trophy, which is given to the best NHL goaltender every year. Which, what does a goalie do? He's your backstop.
He's your last line of defense.
The last guy there stopping pucks before they enter the old burger bin. You know?
That's right.
That's what he does.
All right. I can dig it.
So while you may not win a team
Or save it.
championship, you may win personal championships. You may succeed to do great things on an individual level while the people who surround you are kind of idiots.
Well,
wait, I don't like that card.
Actually,
I like where that was going.
I read it a little differently.
Okay, please do.
You're a guy that the entire team has no choice but to rally around.
That's true. Hot goalie can take you to the moon.
You're gonna ride a hot goalie to the moon, and if you're a Vezina winner, you are likely on a team that's making a deep run.
Now
there's no teams missing the playoffs that got Vezina goalies.
This card also has a secret on the back. Do we flip to the back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Since it's the last card.
There will be one of the players who has won a Vezina trophy on the back. And
Is it
we're
Marty?
looking at
Oh.
Patrick Roy. Probably arguably greatest goalie of all time. An absolute maniac. An absolute maniac of a coach. But the maniac that you love. The type of maniac that if he's yelling for something that you got going, he is your guy. He lines up against you.
Right.
He lines up against you. He's a worthy adversary.
I do.
That's a nice card. That's a nice deck. All right, who we reading for?
Okay,
on,
now who
online?
wants to volunteer? Should we pull a fifth one for Mike while we're gathering some volunteers? The first person that gets tagged here for tarot is going to get their cards read. Let's go.
Come on,
Let's
folks.
pull the fifth card there, Mike. This is the
Here
one.
It goes.
Ooh, a special card. This is our guy from the Mariners. Some would say the jester of the card world.
The Fool, if you will.
The Fool.
That could be a fool.
What does the Fool mean,
Well,
Greg?
the Fool in an actual tarot
Yeah.
deck is the beginning of the tarot deck. And it's kind of the zero card, oddly enough. It's the beginning and the end. And so you're like the alpha and omega. That's what Darnell Coles is. Yeah, that's what Darnell Coles
beginning
is. He's the
and the
beginning
end.
and the end and everything in between.
Oh
Darnell
my God.
Coles. When I think of Darnell Coles and I think of a good team, I think of a straw that stirs the drink. And every good team has a straw that stirs the drink in the clubhouse.
Yep, you're exactly right.
And and Mike, I gotta tell you,
That's
when you look at
fitting.
who's sophisticate, buddy, you are our Darnell Coles. You
Yeah.
are the straw that stirs the drink, Jack.
Aw, thanks.
All right, here we go. We've got some names.
All right, here we
Oh,
go,
you know
folks.
what? Let's
I mean,
do some
Darnell
readings.
Coles is only going to get you. He's not going to do
right,
very
so
good.
I'm-
on
No,
his
he's a
stats.
he's a clubhouse guy. He's a
So am I
clubhouse
going
guy.
to pick for the folks again?
Well, we have 4 left here, so we could do the 4 left.
I'll
in the
tell you
deck.
what, we got a lot of names. Let's see what kind of. I mean, they're
can
really
pull more.
enjoying this. They're enjoying this. They're
can
saying this
pull
is
more.
awesome. Let's pull out a whole stack of decks. Honestly, Mike, if you don't mind swapping me out
Let's
here.
do it.
And let's pull the next one here.
See you,
Michael
everybody.
Jones wants to have his red. Elise Taylor. Oh, I'm going to swap you. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. We pick someone that never comments. All right. Well, let's just do. I think Michael Jones does comment, but we'll do him.
Michael Jones has been great. Great
It's been
addition.
a
I love that.
solid
Who's that
addition.
guy?
You know what? I can't wait to pull his card just to see what kind of addition he's been to the team.
Okay, you want to pull his?
Michael Jones, we're going to pull you next, and then. But if we got the time, if we have the time, we do. It's 9:20. If we got the time, maybe we'll pull 4 here. Maybe we'll pull 4 more. Let's see what we got here. Let's do it. I'm having some fun. Michael Jones, this is your fate.
This is Michael Jones. I was going to say, are you supposed to stir him up? But we'll do it.
Yeah,
Michael
shuffle
Jones,
him.
Michael Jones.
Shuffle
Michael
him. Here we go.
Jones.
Michael Jones. Go ahead, right off the top.
Close your
Here we
eyes,
go.
close your eyes,
All
close
right.
your eyes. I'm gonna get some-
All right. First card. Is that Delino de Shields?
Yes.
Is that Delino de Shields?
That's a drawing of Delino de Shields. And you have to remember that this is the Delino de Shields of the Montreal
Expos. Correct.
Okay, that comes into play when you're talking about these cards.
100%.
The Montreal Expos, a forgotten franchise, but dare I say, one of the most beloved franchises in all of sports history.
When we talk about possible MLB expansion, I just think it's crazy to not put a team back in Montreal.
That's, I agree. I don't know
I'm
what their
not even the
attendance was.
biggest French-Canadian fan.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm
Montreal.
disagreeing. I'm disagreeing with you on that one. But I loved the jerseys. I loved that
they had
guys.
good kits.
They were the Marlins before the Marlins were the Marlins, as far as having a bunch of good players and then selling them off and never kind of
worked like the MLB, almost like a farm club plus.
Little
but
bit.
Delino de Shields was a guy who had greasy slick wheels.
quick.
He was a guy that I would look up on the old school scoreboard when it would show the league leaders, and you could almost always bet Delino de Shields was going to be one of the leaders in triples. He's going to be in the top 3 in triples in the league.
100%.
Not a lot of guys hitting triples in the league.
You-
Dangerous guy on the pass. He turns a single into a double
Just about to
pretty
say that.
quick.
Just about to say that.
That's a versatile player who's setting the table for the rest of his team.
Yes, that's someone you got to have in your 1 or 2 hole.
got it. You got
I wouldn't
it.
mind having him in my 2 hole.
All right, pull him out. That's a good one.
Here we go. All right, Michael Jones. Card number 2. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. This card is a powerful card in the deck. This is a powerful card in the deck. Not the most likable guy if you weren't a Red Wings fan.
Probably close to my most hated individual on earth.
With good reason. But if he's wearing the note, he's one of your favorite players of all time.
He's Tony Twist. He's Charlie Chase.
Arguably the baddest man to ever
Yes.
lace him up.
Yep. Yep.
Michael Jones, you've got a mean streak in you, pal. You got a mean streak in you that demands respect.
100 million.
No matter
from your
what.
peers, from everyone, from anyone who's seen you do what you do, you are demanding respect. And there is a tie-in here. Seeing these cards one after another, clubhouse guy.
This guy right here, he's going to bat for the little guy. If you're wearing the same sweater, buddy, I got your back no matter where you find yourself.
He's also going to ride a motorcycle, drink 30 beers, punch a guy out at the bar,
And probably take your wife home.
oh, dude! And if you look at his stats, which this ain't a rookie card, he had some years where he was putting up 20
some numbers? 20,
Yes.
30 points?
20, 30 goals.
Oh, my
dude.
goodness.
Yeah,
You're like
it was
50,
a different
60-point guy?
They said he was an absolute unit in every sense of the word before the word unit got thrown around. That is as much as it pains me to say it, that's a glorious card right there.
All right. Card number 3, Michael Jones. Are we on target so far? Are you one of the baddest in the jungle, sir? Greasy slick wheels.
I've been wanting to get to this card.
Oh,
wanting to get to this card.
Goodness. Okay.
I've been wanting to get. You can't see it because this is a Bowman card, and they're kind of
tough. They're really green.
That is Johnny Tudor.
John Tudor.
Can we talk about his 1985 season?
I think you have to if you're going to talk about John Tudor.
This guy, this card doesn't ever get talked about. Ever. Barely ever.
You're right.
I believe in the 1985 season, he had a 1.71 ERA.
Won like 21 games.
With, I want to say, 20-something complete games and 16 shutouts.
Unreal.
Don't quote me on
Unreal.
that.
And a crafty. John Tudor's a crafty pitcher. He's not going to blow you away with his stuff.
He had 140 strikeouts,
painter.
maybe 160.
He's an artiste.
He's an artist of his craft, 1,000,000%.
He's not a
and
guy
he
that's
looks
gonna come
unassuming.
and absolutely. This guy worked at H&R Block yesterday.
Yes, dude, he did. He will be the most innocuous face you've ever seen.
But you need a win. You need to
win in a big game.
a win. You better hope he's on the bump.
If you need a win and you're combining these cards,
you're going to give yourself a chance. You're giving yourself a chance right now. You have a lot of leadership qualities here.
Yes.
This is a guy right here that makes a lot out of a little. This is a guy right here that protects the crest on your chest. And this is a guy right here who's going to put the whole team on his back and say, watch this. Ride me like Shadowfax. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna scoot on over to the tarot card reference page. I mean, you're looking
Very
at a
good.
guy with a 3.12 ERA career.
That's not bad.
But his 85, 21 wins, a 7.24 winning percentage.
I really called that 21 wins.
Yep. Well, a $1.93 ERA. 14
Sub 2 ERA, 14 complete games.
Yep, 10 of them shutouts. 275 innings pitched.
That's a season. That's a Cy Young
season, bud. What was his Cy Young ranking? Cy Young 2.
Runner
Cy
up.
Young 2.
Runner up from the Cy Young.
8 and MVP that year. Okay, we got one card left.
That card left.
That card
Michael
has been
Jones,
in the
I got
deck.
a feeling we are pegging you. I've got a feeling we are pegging you deep.
We're pegging you good.
We're pegging you real good. We're pegging you real deep, pal. Here we go. All right. Hang on, I feel this one right here. I'm going deep on you. My goodness.
Yeah,
look at
87. This is the top 87. Let me scoot deep down a little bit.
On another World Series playing team, another pennant-winning team. Tito Landrum. Mike's uncle, actually. He's like, Uncle Tito!
He was a guy who he left the Cardinals for a year, went to the Orioles, but where did he end back up? The Birds on the
Couldn't
bat.
quit him.
Couldn't quit.
Hey, I can't quit
Same
you guys.
thing with our guy. You can't quit him.
Nope. No, he's gonna. Tito Landrum's a guy that he's about his business. He's gonna give you solid numbers. You know what you can count on when Tito Landrum comes in.
And he's got a fun name.
When I look at your cards, Michael Jones, I see somebody that is dependent on. I can depend on you. If there is one thing that stands out about all of this is like Michael Jones says he's going to do something, by golly, he's going to get it done.
And we need to look at the color scheme here because red's
very strong in his chart.
Strong,
Very strong in his chart.
Yes. So look for colors of red that you see.
Red
Maybe
is
it's
a
guiding.
fast energy. Red is it gets a bad rap.
Powerful because
it's
it leads to anger, but it doesn't always have to be.
You can harness it.
Yes,
Also,
100%.
nice sexual undertones.
Fire. You need fire.
Gotta have
fire.
fire.
Will consume you.
Yes,
but you need it.
But if you learn how to bend it a little bit. These are good cards here, Michael. This is a great set of cards. You're a dependable, fast, tough, hard-nosed leader, Michael Jones.
Yes.
And we love you for playing the game. Next.
That's awesome.
It's fine. Probably not a sex cult. All right.
Definitely not a sex cult.
It hasn't been ascertained. All right. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it right here. We're going to do it right now. We're reading Elisa's cards right here.
I love this.
We're reading Elisa's cards.
Love this. Oh, feel it.
I got. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, we got 3 more to do. Elise, I'm just gonna name them because they've been tagged. Elise, Cynthia, Jennifer Barra. You guys got it coming.
We're gonna be here all night.
We're not because I'm gonna make quick work out of this. I know what to do with you Hoosier broads. I'm gonna make quick work out of this.
Jesus Lord.
We're gonna make real quick work out of this. All right.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize Absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
You go, I'm sorry. The king does what the he wants. Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry about that. The fire took over a little bit for a second. It was all the red.
Yeah,
It was all, I saw red.
Get your eyes.
Not saw red. Lay it out there. First card. First card.
Again,
Government
a
name.
tough one.
Oh,
Is
man.
this Elise's first card?
This is Elise's first card, and I got to tell you, if there was one card in the deck I did not want to pull.
I know. That's
This
death.
This is essentially, and I'll tell you, in the normal tarot world, the death card is like, oh, this is like new beginnings.
Not this one.
This
is bad. This is bad news.
This is eternity and apathy.
Yeah, this is not good.
Black blank space death.
This guy
is what this is.
He's insane. This person is insane. They played for a team that has terrible allegations against them. I don't want to.
And nobody's doing anything about it. Tie that into the Epstein
Yeah,
deal.
just
He wasn't there during
fire
that.
Quenville. I guess.
Let's be fair. He wasn't there during that.
There are some good things like the death card to take out of this. Okay, the Blackhawks. You can tie that into native spirit, which I think is good. You can do that if you want, but also Eddie the Eagle, Eddie the Eagle. Okay, eagles fly, eagles soar, eagles see.
Now
eagles hunt. Eagles have feathers. Eagles have eyes.
Eagles kill with very little prejudice.
They just murder at will.
And usually small defenseless animals. Typically.
Bunnies.
They
cute
rarely
field
go
mice.
after other predators. They only kill small, furry, defenseless animals. Not furry. They don't have to be furry.
Now, this is a rookie card.
But-
so you'll see he doesn't have the eagle on his helmet yet, which he was known for, having an eagle on his head, hence the name Eddie the Eagle. But let's see if she can get a redeeming card.
Yeah. To the credit, Ed Belfour, to his team, was not a champion, but a dependable goaltender.
He won one in Dallas, maybe.
Oh, I think so. When Holy was there and Madonna and yeah, maybe so. He was a good goalie.
He was amazing.
He was a great goalie.
Yes.
He was a master of his craft.
loved
He was
to
a
hate.
master of his craft. If he wore the note, we would love him.
He'd be Cujo.
He'd be Cujo with probably a better goals against average. Anyway, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to gas you up, but no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry.
Card numero 12. I'm not gonna let you look. Are you? We're neither.
Dose is card 12, so we're gonna go with numero dos.
Give me
Oh.
one more night.
Here's the deal.
Uno dos. Oh, and she just told. If there couldn't be two cards that are more, thank you, Mike, that couldn't be more opposite of each other here. It's this.
When
one,
I
this
say one of my favorite human beings to
Yes.
have ever
Yes.
graced the planet,
yes,
to the point that I want to personalize a license plate that is in honor of him. Willie McGee he's 1985 NL MVP.
that's what he is.
He was a guy, he's a borderline Hall of Famer. He was a guy, he's a 300 hitter. He only hit like 80 bombs career. He'll go over the wall and rob one for you. Couple thousand hits, gold glove defense in center. Still the straw that stirs the drink. I don't know if he got 2,000 hits actually, but still the straw that stirs the drink.
His 85 season, 114 runs.
That is unbelievable.
18 triples led the league. 216 hits led the league. 82 RBIs, 10 ribbies, or 10 home runs. 56 stolen bases.
It's a lot of bags to swipe.
503 slugging, a 353 average.
E.T.
Much like the Tudor card.
E.T. McGee.
E.T. McGee. Out of this world?
Out of this world, potentially an alien.
Potentially
an alien.
Potentially an alien.
Potentially an alien. A very redeeming card as far as Missouri.
Maybe one of the
go.
best cards you can get in here.
I would hope
Personally?
that I would pull a
Yes,
Willie McGee.
yes, me too. Everybody.
And I know that that's not what it's about. Like the cards are what the cards are. The cards are telling the truth about
Yes.
who you are.
Yes.
Willie McGee was a leader in the clubhouse. He's still a leader in the clubhouse. He's still coaching the squad. He's still teaching outfielders how to be Gold Glove caliber outfields. Willie McGee is a legend.
Legendary. Let me say this: Willie McGee to the outside circles. Have I heard of him? Maybe not. But
on baseball pages though, especially
Really?
yeah. I mean, he gets his due with a lot of the old
Really?
timers, a lot of
Very
the old
cool.
timers because he played for the Yankees for a minute, played with the Giants.
Yep,
So
yep.
like he had a little bit of exposure there.
Okay,
but
cool.
The Cardinals were a powerhouse in the '80s,
in our
and he was
city,
a huge part of that.
In our city, there may be no more beloved character of Ozzie Stan, maybe.
Yeah,
Stan.
But that's the crazy thing for not being a Cooperstown Hall of Famer.
No doubt.
He carries that kind of clout.
What is it? It has that
humble. He's very humble. A humility in spades. Came out, hustled every day, played the game the right way.
That is good. That is a good.
That checks out. That tracks.
That
tracks. So far, Elise's is dead nuts. Death and Willie McGee.
What do we got here? What do we got? Slap it down. Oh my God. The flexible, the ever flexible.
She's a yogi. She likes to do yoga.
What's the trickster? Is there like a trickster card, or is that the jester, or is that what is it?
A Joker card?
Okay, because that I feel like he was fun. Oh, fun in the clubhouse. He used to
Quick
catch
to snap one off.
He'd catch with his leg out. I thought
Spread,
it was
the guy.
wild.
The guy lived spread eagle, and I got to tell you, I mean, he spent a good. Consider the average time of a 9-inning baseball game. We're talking 2.5 to 4 hours in his time.
Yeah,
4 hours was a long game. Yeah. It was pitchers' duels usually, not a ton of offense, kind of quick games. This guy was spread eagle 3 hours a day, 162 times a year. Now he, as a catcher, I don't know if he caught every game. He probably caught 150. He probably caught 150 games a year at least.
Check.
150 times
151, 147,
okay,
147,
so
144, 149.
Jesus! The model of consistency. Snap off a quick throw. You think you're going to steal on Tony Pena? You better have some wheels, bud.
Yep.
Because he's going to break one off. He doesn't need to pop up. He's going to throw from his spread eagle stance, and he's got the arm power to do it. My point I was making is, let's call it an average time of 3 hours, 150 games a year. We're looking at about 450 hours spent spread eagle just in game time.
That's awesome.
That's
just
awesome. Airing it out.
Yeah, that's great. And that tracks.
That
so tracks.
So far. She's like one of them that like sits out there.
Hey, dude,
what's up, guys? Glad we could hang out.
You want to play the drum?
All right. One card left for our friend.
For our friend. That, my friends, is a hammer. That's a hammer of a card.
That's a heavy card.
That's a heavy,
with a
heavy
lot
card.
to it. Has
a lot of baggage
going on.
Where do we start?
His wife was the one taking the HGH, which I think is cool.
Absolutely. Guy's a strikeout machine.
Okay.
I think he's third all-time strikeouts.
He could have went to Cooperstown even before all the allegations.
And
kind
it's
of
a bummer.
Barry Bonds
It's kind of a bummer.
situation.
I won't let that be a strike against him.
The ultimate gamer.
Competitor.
The
gamer.
Ultimate
You want to talk
competitor
about, I
and
mean,
gamer.
he's the best pitching card we've pulled, and we probably would pull out of this deck. I mean, there might be a couple in there that compare.
John Tudor's years, this guy was producing them.
Year in, year out.
Yes.
He's one of, like, I think 5 people to have 20 strikeouts in a game. Got mysteriously better in his 40s.
In 86, retired all 9 men he faced in the and won the MVP in the All-Star game.
Unbelievable.
To tell you the type of guy he is. Take your 9 best hitters in the league.
He's won World Series on multiple teams. He's won Cy Youngs on multiple teams. One of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
And you know, I can go on a whole tangent about
what do they
why
call
he
him? The
absolutely
Rocket?
belongs in the Hall of Fame.
The
Absolutely.
Rocket. You can
Rocket
take
Clemens.
a rocket anywhere. Okay? Most
Also
likely
tracks.
to your death. If you
which
take
leads us
your
back to
own
Belfour.
rocket and lead you
So
back to Belfour.
we got
so
death,
they come back.
We got death,
Life, trickster,
flexibility, spread eagle, and
rocket.
Just a rocket. It's an absolute rocket. That's you, Elise. Okay, next. I'm watching from my phone. I thought he was holding a basketball. I was a little confused for a second. That's totally Elise Taylor, is what Cynthia said. Well, Cynthia, since you piped up,
Cynthia's next.
all right.
Cynthia is next.
Cynthia,
This is your tarot reading.
I don't even know what's in here.
All right, here we go. First card. Ooh. Well,
Cynthia. Oh, Jesus.
Vladimir Konstantinov.
He was an absolute freight train. You don't want to be caught with your head down around
Gotta be,
Vladimir
head better be on a
Konstantinov.
swivel.
And you don't want to get into a car or on a motorcycle with him because I think that's what happened to him. Something real bad happened to him.
Got a lot of tragedy
and
attached
they
to him.
wheeled him out at one of the games.
One of the first original tragedies is that he's a pinko commie.
Well, yeah, it's probably why God got him with that whole deal.
That's 100%. That was God's swift justice.
It was. This card means when you want to hate something with all of your might. You know what I mean? Like you just see it and you want to hate it.
Sure.
Just everything in your body is going, I hate it. Do we have any of those voices?
It's kind of, yeah, I think we do. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with which voice?
Just when you see them. Are you doing one?
Now, right? You're doing one now. This is the voice that you hear whenever they come around. It's just kind of a deep emanating but in your heart, this is what you hear.
Dude, you got double buttons going on right now? Oh my God, dude. Look at you like little, you're doing things over there. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Wicka. That card, and in all seriousness, that card, when I've seen it pulled before, taught me grace. I used to think that this card meant all
bad things because it was the card that was destroying things you liked. But that card goes through its own journey and then comes out on the other side and you have nothing but respect and love and admiration.
There is something that bonds you, 100%. And that is a love of the game. In this case, a love of life.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And this card will always stick out in my head.
It sure will. Primarily because of the brutal accident. But
yes, that's basically a majority of it. But it's a great story.
It is a good story.
All right, we'll do card number 2. Oh no. Oh no, dude. Oh no. This is red, but bad red.
Oh,
this is bad
well,
red.
here's the deal. It's just this. I mean,
listen.
I don't know what to do with this. Okay. The thing is let's get it all out of the way right away.
He's the most likable one of that bunch, if you ask me.
And the one that Detroit rolls out the red carpet for. Besides
Stevie Y.
Stevie Y is the guy.
Yes. And they had the Fedorovs. They had the Konstantinovs. They had the Proberts. This is the captain of captains.
Oh, captain, my captain.
If you had a captain of your all-star team, you take all of your captains together. This is going to be the captain. Do you see how prominent that C is on this card?
Yep.
This is the captain of captains card. Mm-hmm. You need a leader. You need someone to show you the way in difficult times.
You know what's wild? As from what the feeling that I get, because he was key to a lot of heartbreaking blues moments. Especially a lot of ours.
Heartbreaking
yes,
moments.
And from the great one of all. But when I think about him, I just think of a guy that was just like, he wasn't a loudmouth. He wasn't chippy. He played clean. He was just great. A Joe Sakic type.
100%.
A Joe Sakic type where
there's a breed of guys like that.
I wish you were ours. Like this, like that you're in the same division because you're just great. You're
also,
great.
It reminds me of a story about Joe Sakic, and the same can be said about Stevie Y. A young player was once chirping to Joe Sakic, and Brett Hall stood up. It was when he played for Dallas, and he goes, "No, young guy, you don't talk to Joe Sakic."
I know exactly what it was. It was when Hull was with the Red Wings and they were playing the Avalanche, and it was the dude that Sean Avery chirps all the time. One of my favorite follows, by the way. Sean Avery's great during playoff hockey.
Yep.
You don't talk to Mr. Sakic.
You don't,
like that.
and the same exact thing can be said for Stevie. You're going to open your mouth to Stevie Y. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do.
I love people that you can't say anything bad about them, other than
darn it, they're
Darn
so
it,
good.
they're playing against us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that's a
unfortunately,
great-
we ended up on a different team.
Yep.
Not the case here.
No.
When it comes to Cindy,
We traded for Stevie Y.
oh, buddy. She's the Stevie Y in our clubhouse.
Yeah, dude, that's a that's a
She's,
compliment.
I'll tell you this. When it comes to rocks, she's the Stevie Y of rocks. She is the Iserman of rocks.
I'm so glad we're doing this.
All right, here we go. Third card in.
Give her a good one. Oh my God.
Okay, now this is
wild.
this is a lot.
This is wild.
I don't know what to do here.
This is wild.
We're doubling.
This one means something different than this one. This one is an early years cap.
We pulled a back-to-back Steve Iserman.
This is a Campbell.
Is that later?
This is a Campbell conference. This may be a year later.
No, he's in a Blackhawks kit there, isn't he?
No.
Oh, it's an All-Star jersey or
So
something.
this is the All-Star. So when you combine these two,
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen.
I've never
this
pulled it.
before.
I've never, especially not back-to-back.
Not back
Touching
to back.
that's insanity.
That's
That's never
absolute
happened.
insanity.
Which is really trying to tell us something here.
Lean into your captain.
Lean into your leadership,
Yes.
Cindy.
You
Take
are the
that
leader of
gong
leaders.
and lead the snakes out of town.
Yes.
Okay.
If you've been second guessing yourself, this is the young Stevie Y that second guesses himself.
Yes.
He
Hasn't
just
quite settled in.
I think he was captain at 19 or 20. They
said
did
he's
something
gonna be-
crazy.
he's gonna be.
He was a
gonna be the
Jake
guy.
Neighbors type. They're like he's gonna be
like,
somebody.
He was like the Dalai Lama. Like they knew it when he was born that he was going to be the captain
It is so weird because I said the captains of captains. I believe he was the captain
of that All-Star
of
team.
this All-Star team. Lean, if you've been questioning anything that you're like, maybe I'm not enough or not good enough, just know that this means you are good enough. You are on the right path. You are the captain of your life. Oh
Absolutely.
my God.
Real quick, I just want to address not to go away
That
from
is a good one.
not to go away from the tarot reading, but just for a second, they said what is going on with the helium voices earlier. That was actually the cute voice, okay? Because look, here's the deal.
I huff gas. Okay, I like to go to a festival and I like to huff gas. Sometimes you get the wrong gas, and that's helium, and that's what this is. Okay? This is helium, not the other one.
We have a soundboard here, okay? You don't think we know what helium is? All right, last one for
Cynthia.
our gal, Cynthia.
All right, here we go. I'm getting in there deep. I'm gonna try to get in there deep. Like,
I've shuffled them.
oh wow, oh wow.
I like this. I'm glad
Joe McGrain. Now, Joe McGrain, I remember when I was a kid, I remember thinking, has anybody ever had cooler hair than Joe McGrain? Mm-hmm. Has there ever been as prominent of like a golden, like the honey of the gods mullet, like curly mullet? Joe McGrain was a handsome steed.
The blonde locks,
like I've never
like
seen.
you've never seen before.
And
in
that
your life.
tracks. Cindy's got a whole head full of
Yes,
hair.
she does.
She's got lovely hair.
Yep.
It goes all flowing better than the rivers around here. I'll tell you that.
24 starts in 88 with a 2.18 ERA.
Allison Christine had a big crush on Joe McGrain.
Oh, who didn't?
Oh man, Cindy has so much power in her hair. So did Joe McGrain.
30. God, that's a great parallel. 34 games in 89 with a 2.91 ERA. So we're not dealing with a slouch here.
Also, I'll tell you what we are dealing with. We're dealing with some pedigree. This is a guy.
I was going to get to that.
Made a beautiful child.
Yep.
A beautiful child who then became kind of one of America's sweethearts for just
American
a
Idol?
short little run on American Idol.
Yep.
A voice of an angel.
That means you can produce great things with your seed.
That's right. With your egg? With your seed and egg?
I don't know how it works. You're going to have to explain to me after the show.
The point is, or maybe it just means you're the songbird of your generation somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in there.
I like that.
Joe McGrain was dependable. Dependable. When I think of dependable friends, I think of Cindy.
Good orator too. I've heard him talk. Great orator.
Pretty good orator.
Okay.
Pretty good orator. Great hair though.
The hair is the power.
The hair is the power.
And those two
Samson-esque.
So we got
Stevie Y. I'm still reeling. I'm reeling from back-to-back Stevie Ys. I don't know. I guess it's just compounded energy, compounded strength,
turning
compounded
great
skill.
things from tragedy, becoming the captain, a captain you didn't know you could even become, and power of your beautiful, luscious locks.
Cindy in a nutshell.
Wow, whoa,
Cindy
wow.
in a nutshell.
Uno mas.
Una mas, which I believe we said was Jennifer Barrow.
Uno doce.
Although I do think
Give me one more night.
Una noche.
112.
Oh, that was a good band.
Okay.
Cupid. 112. Peaches and
407
peaches
comments
and
tonight.
cream.
This seems like the actual best and highest use of trading cards. Ironically, when Neil Volner and I were younger, our code word for smoking the reefer was trading baseball cards.
Oh, that's cool.
I
That's
like
fun.
it. Oh my gosh, you guys, says Cynthia. Dependable indeed, says Charity. All right, here's your day in court, Jennifer Barra. You know what? I'm doing this whole one in a cute voice.
No, you're not. No way. I'll do it in cute voice too. I'll do it. I don't care. I don't care.
I'll do it right here. Yeah, that's all right. We'll let him.
All right.
We'll give him a little. We'll give him a little taste of
Let's
it.
chant Jennifer Barra 3 times while I shuffle these.
Okay. Jennifer
Do we have a
Barra.
voice?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hang on a second. Well, should we go to church or you want to go to church? All right, let's go to church. Et nomine Patre et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Jennifer Barra. Jennifer Barra. Jennifer Barra. Sorry.
Feel him.
I'm fingering around here.
Take one from the end if you want.
Oh my. A childhood fave.
Who we got?
Bernard Gilkey.
Oh, one of the greatest names. Someone who sticks out in your memory, but probably shouldn't.
No,
maybe?
I mean,
She probably shouldn't stick out in our memories at all, but she does.
I love Bernard Gilkey.
I absolutely.
We had,
adore
we
Bernard
had a
Gilkey.
real good run in like the
This is
early
the Arch
2000s.
card too. The Arch and Moon card.
Beautiful.
That's the Arch and Moon.
The Arch
one.
and Moon card.
That says a lot for your outdoors, your
Absolutely.
exciting nature, your adventurous
Because real quick,
nature.
let's tie something in real quick. Jennifer Barra is the descendant. Not the descendant, because I guess that's a direct line.
Yeah.
Is family with St. Louis baseball legend.
Really?
Yeah, she's related to Yogi.
Really?
100%.
Oh my gosh.
So-
So to pull a Gilkey.
So to pull a Gilkey with the Arch, St. Louis baseball, to pull a Cardinal, Bernard Gilkey.
Wow.
To me, so we had a lot of great years from 2000 up. We had about 15-year stretches good.
Real good.
But and we had a great stretch in the 80s. But for us kids our age, in the 90s were tough. Bud.
Yeah,
we had a
I
couple
still
good
loved
years.
it.
I loved
the
every
team.
bit of it.
Yeah.
And on some middling teams, one of the absolute bright spots for me was Bernard Gilkey. Hard-nosed player, all hustle, good power.
Yep. Defensive.
Defensive, you
great.
felt good where he was out in the outfield.
Yep.
One of the best names to Gilkey. Gilkey.
It is.
It's a nice.
I'll never forget it. I'll be dying with dementia.
Some of your last words might be Bernard Gilkey. Bernard Gilkey was
Or
an
Jennifer
absolute
Barra.
steed.
Absolute. Basically a love card because you love Bernard Gilkey. Looking for stats?
Let me give you his 92 season because it was not bad. Hit 302,
That's great.
19 doubles, 4 triples, 7
Okay.
bombs, 43 ribbies, 18 stolen bases. That's a guy
Gonna be
played
there for ya.
131 games.
Gonna
This is
be there
a
for
I don't want to
you.
call him a utility, but he's a guy who's probably operating as a fourth outfielder a lot of the time.
You
Not
need
giving you
them.
a full season, but he's going to play anywhere in the field that you need him, and he's going to give you a more than serviceable chance. Bernard Gilkey is a great
Absolutely.
card,
Yep.
absolute steed, and St. Louis gem.
Necessary for your team to
Absolutely.
work.
Absolutely.
A necessary component.
Absolutely. Big Bernard Gilkey fan, as I am a big Jennifer Barra fan. All right. Oh, interesting. Very interesting because I don't think we've pulled one of these yet. Have we pulled a basketball card
We have
yet?
not. And we got the big man.
And we got Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo, one of the baddest.
Yes. If you need someone to play defense for you, if you need someone to defend you and defend your hole, look no further.
No,
A very small percentage of things attacking your hole are gonna succeed.
I'm
gonna
willing to bet
swat most of them away.
I'm willing to bet nothing's going to get near your hole if you pull this card.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Dikembe Mutombo
big
is
personality.
the ultimate protection card. You should feel protected, Jennifer.
Yes.
This is it's a guardian card. Okay.
1,000,000%.
This is a guy that when the last line of defense falls, you're still not out.
Yep.
You still have a chance of stopping what's coming, and no slouch on the other end of the court. Big guy.
Oh, for sure.
Big guy.
Respected.
Takes up a lot of space.
Super respected.
Very
and
much
this is
so.
different than a goalie card, say. Because a goalie card has all this equipment, all of this armor, all of this stuff to it. Dikembe Mutombo went into battle with no armor. He's defending out there with his body, with his mind, using his physical being, his spiritual being, to make things happen, to win championships. Did he win one? I don't know if he did. He may be like on that Barkley list.
You know, he was with the
Nuggets.
The Nuggets for a long time. I think maybe had a short little stint with the Hawks. Maybe. I don't know that he got one.
Yeah,
I don't know that he got one. But I can tell you, he's probably a Hall of Famer.
Oh, easy.
One of the best defensive NBA players of all time.
A protection card.
An absolute guardian card. Checks out. First basketball card too.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not sure where that's at. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna sit with that one.
Oh yes. Oh, you are a good time. You are the best times. You are the best. Yes, you are one of my favorite times to have. You are Brett Hall from the
golden Brett
1990 record-setting season, which means the year he had 72 goals.
Unbelievable. They said he was going to be. There's a player that the son of a great and big shoes to fill.
Yep.
A lot of kids that they christen at young ages. A lot of pressure falls
Ties
apart.
into the Yogi Berra thing.
A lot of pressure falls apart. Not with this one.
Ancestral pressure.
Ancestral pressure. That's
that
exactly
you
right.
rose above.
That's exactly right. He's here, Grandpa's cousin, by the way. Yeah. So I just wanted to clear that up because she cleared it up for us. But no, that's exactly right. Didn't buckle under pressure. Was the guy. Hey, it's tied. I want to go party. Give me the puck. I'm going to end this game. We're going to go party.
One of the greatest personality cards you could possibly pull out of the deck. Will be a legend.
And if that's not
forever.
Brett Hall is St. Louis royalty.
Yes.
He's probably on the St. Louis Rushmore of athletes,
Yep.
which is a prestigious Rushmore.
Yep.
But I would say definitely represents the Blues if anybody does, even though he wasn't a lifelong Blue.
Sure. Won his championship somewhere else.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, like you said, a good time card. I don't know that there's anything I love as much as a Jennifer Berra giggle across a campfire.
Totally.
I know everybody's having a good time.
That card makes you, it signifies that Jennifer makes people feel good.
That's right.
And fun.
Happy.
And yes. Because even though.
Nothing negative to say about it.
Even though Brett Hall may be going through the trials and tribulations with Keenan, is he going to be there for his guys every dang night? And you know what? This card always gave credit to the protectors around, which is odd to see a person who devoted his life to talking about how Tony Twist and Kelly Chase were the reasons he was able to score that many goals.
Absolutely.
To have him next to the ultimate protector card.
Absolutely.
That is a duo, not Steve Yzerman duo double, but this is a duo of the ages right here.
Absolutely.
Wow. All right, we got Uno Mas.
Here we go. Last card.
Last card of the night. Oh, okay.
We have Danny Cox. We got Danny Cox. An unsung hero, to be honest with you. Huge. Again, that 85 team. You got Tudor doing his thing. You got, who else was doing it? Tom Royal. No, the other, we pulled a card that had an 85. Willie. Really. And this Danny Cox 85 season, 18 wins, and a 2.8 ERA, 10 complete games with 131 strikeouts. How do you do? Dependable. How do you do? How do you do, indeed? All right, I was giving him the chipmunk that whole time since she liked to make fun of our little voices.
Danny Cox. Danny Cox was a leader in the clubhouse.
Yep.
Danny Cox is a pennant winner. Danny Cox.
Did he move to the bullpen at some point in his career? I feel
Maybe
like he did.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
6'4", 225,
What a
an
steed.
absolute steed.
What a unit, yeah.
And I think, now a lot of people say this might be controversial.
Okay.
But a lot of it comes from his last name. A lot of the power comes
I agree.
from that last name.
And when you're talking about Dikembe Mutombo protecting holes.
Yes. And then you got Brett Hall filling them. And then you got
bringing the... I mean...
Say it out loud.
Why Cox?
My finger was supposed to cover all of Danny.
These are great cards. One of the things I love about it is 3 out of the 4 cards, St. Louis cards.
Yep.
Jennifer Berra, probably a piece of her soul lives in this town, and she's
point.
not here. But I know that St. Louis is always singing the Siren's Call, and I think that when we're reading the cards and we're looking at them on the whole, I think that this is the siren. This is St. Louis's siren song to Jennifer.
That is
saying,
so great.
Stay on the track that you're on. Your holes are protected. You're a good time. People want to hear you laugh. You're dependable day in and day out at any position, and you're and Cox. And so,
remember that.
Just remember that St. Louis is calling you, always welcoming you home.
Because that's such a great point. Left St. Louis.
She loves Cox.
Left St. Louis. Okay, never in St. Louis. These 3, even though they left, still undeniably loved.
Oh,
they leave an impact
without a doubt.
Where they go, they leave an impact, just like Jennifer Berra. Wow, what a card session, bud.
What a great card session.
Absolute great session.
Real quick, I do want to, let's see here. So, yeah, okay, so I thought so. I will tie Dikembe into St. Louis, though.
Okay.
So, he was drafted and started with the Nuggets. And then he was traded and played roughly the same amount of time with the Atlanta Hawks, formerly the St. Louis Hawks.
Yes! Nice, dude.
So,
way to tie it all in.
You bet. Hey, listen,
What a
that was a
night.
blast. We're doing sports card tarot every week.
We'll
from
do a
now
little
on.
bit.
I love it. I hope you guys had fun with it. Should we? We did. It's 10. We had a great run. You got a song? You want to play a song? Get out of here. Let's play one song. What should we play? What should we play? We're gonna play one song. We're gonna get you out of here, guys. It's been a fun Monday in the riff.
I've had fun.
We've been in the riff. Let us know if your tarot readings seemed even remotely accurate. Whether or not you believe they were, they were. So we're gonna play a little tune and figure something out.
No, okay. I want to practice that.
Okay.
You know "Natural Disaster" by Zach Brown band?
I don't.
No. Okay. Let's try it.
Everyone's loving it. All this is so true.
Oh, so it is true.
Not that we didn't already know.
One we know together, one we can kind of figure out.
Yeah, what do we know together?
You know "All For You" by Sister Hazel?
I mean, kind of.
It's hard to say what it is I see in you. I was just looking that one up.
Yeah? All right, let's do that.
It's one of my favorites.
Guys, thank you for tuning in on this Monday night. I've had a blast. We're going to try and talk about something a little serious, talk about something a little fun. Hopefully next week we'll have a skit or two for you. We're going to play you out here with a little Billy Joel tune, I think. Tune in next week. Thanks, everybody, for the shirt orders. Those will be going out probably next week in the mail. So that's awesome. Stay tuned for some neat events coming up. And thanks for being here.
Love you guys.
night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. But Sunday came, you crashed me out again. I was only having fun, wasn't hurting anyone, and we all enjoyed the weekend for a change. Stranded in that combat zone, where I walked to bed first I alone, even rode my motorcycle in the rain. And you told me not to drive, so I made it home alive. And you said that only proves that I'm insane. You may be right, I may be crazy. Oh, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Turn out the lights, don't try to save me. You may be wrong, for all I know, you may be right. Remember how I found you there, alone in your electric chair. I told you dirty jokes until you smiled. You were lonely for a man. I said, take me as I am, 'cause you might enjoy the madness for a while. I think of all these years you tried to find someone to satisfy you. I might be as crazy as you say, but I'm crazy, then it's true that it's all because of you, and you wouldn't want me any other way. You may be right, I may be crazy. Oh, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Turn out the light, it's too late to change me. You may be wrong, for all I know, you may be right. You may be right, I may be crazy. Hey, but it just may be a lunatic you are looking for. Turn out the lights, don't try to save me. You may be wrong, for all I know, you may be right.
Cowabunga.